So for the first time on the show, let's intro with some baseball since it's playoff season. We might as well. We got nothing else really going on.
Hockey started tonight.
Oh, today's
Opening
hockey started
night.
2 nights ago.
Listen, all I know is that whenever the Utah Hockey Club decide on a fucking team,
Hey,
all
watch your
right.
mouth.
That is going to be the nicest hockey jersey probably ever because their colors,
Well, they might change their colors.
they shouldn't.
Well, I hope they don't.
Those colors are so,
You just like light blue.
but it fits.
He
Yeah,
just
it's
likes
true.
light
You know what the weirdest thing is? He only wears dark blue, though.
Who?
Antoine.
I don't wear a lot of light blue.
Interesting.
Isn't that
But
weird?
no, if it's light blue mixed with dark blue, like the Arsenal kit,
Right, but what about like a UNC jersey?
I'll wear UNC.
Because I've never seen you wear light blue. I've only seen you wear navy or
Navy
black
and
or
black.
charcoal or
Yes.
anything like
Those
that.
are my. I don't wear.
But-
I don't wear what he's wearing.
Like, you wear
I
only
don't
the
wear-
navy Yankee shirts, right?
There's only one
Well, no.
tone of Yankees.
Well, there's
shirts.
pinstripes and there's white.
I have
there's
Yankee
gray.
jerseys. No, I won't wear a white.
Right.
No.
No, that's fair. But how about those Yankees, bro? How they faring over there?
I honestly have no idea because yesterday was piss poor compared. Even the first game was piss poor. Just the offense bailed them out.
Judge is getting bailed out.
Judge is Judge is I guess a playoff dropper right now.
Oh my
completely.
gosh.
Aaron
'Cause
Embiid, bro.
He's the only one that besides Stanton, even Soto, they're both playoff dropping right now. Jazz hit a home run last night. That was really it.
Did you see what he said?
Yeah.
He said the Royals got lucky.
Yeah, and
you
then-
don't say that. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever
Well,
heard.
listen, no,
Jazz
listen.
Chisholm.
I love Jazz. I'm perfectly fine with him saying that because that's just his personality. Boone went back on it because that's what he has to do. But Jazz, I'm all for Jazz. He means business. I have nothing against him. I think what he said is perfectly okay.
Yo, are the Yankees overrated?
They are over.
Oh, they're insanely overrated.
They got the best record in the league this year, but they're
Oh, did they actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're insanely over.
I think it comes down to the point where
So
the
many
Yankees just rely on their history to try and win, and it just doesn't work.
If I'm so, the thing with them is like
Classic Mets fan.
come playoff time, they will have something go their way, and then it will immediately go out of their own way, and really badly.
Yeah, that's kind of he perfectly described that. To
That's
be
how it
honest.
goes for the Yankees.
Yeah, so like they'll win the first game of the series, and I would be surprised if the Royals win the next two and just win 3-1.
You know what they need? Derek Jeter.
Well, yes, it's the new era of Yankees are not built like back in the day. Right now, they rely a lot on Judge and Soto.
That's it.
If Gleyber Torres, all the young Rizzo's always injured. The rotation, Cole can't pitch in the first game anymore. He just gives up 3 runs and then he'll cruise, and then it's it. Rodon looked really good yesterday, but once he got to the 4th inning, he imploded. And then
Classic Yankees, am I right?
you start off 3 good innings and you implode in the 4th or the 5th.
Look,
it?
I
That's
feel
it.
I feel your pain because just 9 years ago we lost a World Series to the Royals. They're a pain in the ass to play against.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They're
Royals
good.
were
They're a
tough.
good team, though.
But the
They're good.
Yankees, to me, it's just like they rely way too much on home run or strikeout hitters.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they have no pitching.
It's been the
So-
same rhetoric for years, and like Soto was great. I loved it. We're gonna
He'll be a Met.
sign him.
He'll be a Met next season, so you know.
There's no way
You
it's
will
happening.
we should make a bet. We should make like
There's no way it's happening.
we should make like a bet that he's a Met. Oh, bars. That was
There's
good.
no way. You know what? You know what was? I was listening to Jose Iglesias' song today for a good hour just because it was so catchy.
It's vibes, bro.
and I was
An hour?
and I was just
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like what?
I was running. I was walking up down the aisle saying, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, the Mets fan that's there is hearing me listen say this, and I'm like,
Speaking of Jose Iglesias, he just hit a 2-run single.
"Wow, you see, right on cue." Oh my god!
So
Only you, bro.
if we transition from the the Yankees, let's talk about the actual hottest team in New York right now, the New York Mets. I mean, this team has been stressing me the fuck out for the past month and a half. The fact that they wait till the 8th or 9th inning to show up and win these games in the most stressful way possible. I mean, we were 2 outs away 3 days ago from getting eliminated, and like, bruh,
2 outs. What do you mean 3 days ago?
against the Brewers. in Game 3.
Oh, yeah.
Because they took the lead in the 7th.
Correct.
And then Alonzo hit the home run.
Yes.
Huge.
And then we had the big comeback beforehand against Atlanta. And then in Game 1, we had another comeback. We came back 2 nights ago in Game 2. But unfortunately, we lost that game. But
Listen,
Man.
the one thing about baseball is there's no clock.
well, there's pitch clock.
There is.
Now there is.
There
Now
is.
there
But
is.
it's a 27-out game.
Yep.
There's no clock. You play all 27 outs.
Or more.
And the Mets, that's what they did. And that's what they've been doing. The Mets this year are playoff risers. And they're doing it in a way that's fun for the fans, fun for the Mets fans, but also stressful.
Oh, I hate it, bro.
But yeah, their pitching is rising. Manaea today was rising. Sevy was rising until he hit that
yeah.
6th inning.
Quintana was unreal in Game 3.
Yes,
against
Quintana.
Milwaukee.
Senga, you can't rely too much on
He was
him
hurt.
right now.
Can't really
He's
ask.
hurt.
He did what he could. I mean,
That's-
after giving up the home run, he locked in.
That's fine.
So
The hitting is on a different level.
Mark Vientos is a playoff
Vientos,
riser.
Iglesias,
Alonzo woke up.
Marte, Nimmo, Alonso's there. It's they
Pretty
have,
good.
and then they have Grimace on their side. They have oh my god,
What is Grimace?
The purple,
Did
the
you
purple
not-
blob
did
from
you
McDonald's.
did you not go to McDonald's when you were a kid?
Does he look like he eats fast food?
But did you ever see the commercials of like the old characters? Like Grimace was the giant purple blob.
You never saw the meme of the Grimace milkshakes? People would drink
You
them and
never
then act like
saw-
zombies.
No.
Oh, be glad you haven't.
Do you know Ronald McDonald? You know the old.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
him, but you don't know
Ronald.
like the whole like play type of.
Nah.
Nah. Be glad you don't.
Alright.
Just be
Okay.
glad you don't.
But it was good. It was a time when McDonald's was actually fun because they had that shit going on.
yeah. that's
Now
true.
they don't have any mascots anymore.
Happy
No.
Meals. I know Happy Meals.
But and they have Grimace. They have. Oh my God! And they also have the Hawk Tua girl on there.
That's the only blemish
What?
on this team. She threw out the first pitch of the game.
Yeah, they have the
no
they,
way,
they have
bro.
they have the Hawk Tua girl. Ever since she threw out the first pitch, this has been happening.
No, ever since Grimace threw out the first
Wait,
pitch.
why is she getting all this attention?
So basically, she got a lot of hate on Twitter after the fact because they were doing like a dog adoption thing, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I only showed up to because I want to get these dogs adopted," but apparently the company paid her like a bunch of money.
Yeah, so
Show up, so-
my boss is in diehard. He's going to the game tomorrow.
Yeah,
He's a diehard Mets
Tua fan.
No, but
That would be
I
terrible.
remember when he came
quit
in.
on the spot.
Shout out Carlos. I'll let him. I'll show him when
Carlos,
he comes.
the Hawk Tua
Carlos.
fan.
But I remember he came into the office. He's like, the Hawk Tua girl's throwing out the first pitch today. He's like,
Yes.
whoever signed off on that should immediately pack their bags right now. And I just started cackling, laughing in front of him.
it wasn't the Mets'
And
choice.
I
It was
said-
the company's choice.
I said, what? I said, who signed off on that first off? Because it's a day game as well. And it was a time where kids were off at school. It was before September.
It was in like July.
Yeah. So kids are going to the game. And no, he also said it was a camp day. There were
Yeah.
camps there for summer camp.
Oh gosh.
So you have this girl, and you have the kids asking, who the hell is this girl? What are you saying to these kids?
Keep it
Yeah, that's
PG
Hawk
for the
Tua.
pod. Keep it PG
So-
for the pod.
That
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that.
yeah,
But she apparently, and also a funny thing, they were playing the Oakland A's during that series, and the next day, the Oakland A's had up a jersey that said Hawk 2 on it in the visiting Mets dugout
people
just
are
for
too.
fun.
People when the Hawk Tua thing first started, there were like 2 Oilers fans because it was during the playoffs. They already got Hawk Tua on their jerseys within 24 hours.
Really?
The internet moves quick, man. It's ridiculous, but I guess it kind of is what it is.
Where's she from?
The South.
The South, yeah.
Like,
Somewhere.
Speaking of the Oilers, they followed them the whole playoffs, all or nothing, and I've seen clips of Connor McDavid
Oh, they've been.
and how badass of a captain he is.
You do realize when he retires, he'll be like he could overtake Gretzky if they win some Stanley Cups.
Because so they went into the locker room. I don't know what game it was, but he it was peace quiet, and he just starts cursing at everybody, and they close the door, and you just hear Connor cursing. He's like, "Take the fuck."
Yeah.
Like-
it's like, have you seen that video where it's like LeBron after getting swept by the Nuggets and it's that guy freaking out? Those like little skits.
You don't know Connor, but Connor McDavid is like, he's LeBron, but he could be better in his own sport than LeBron.
I don't think so. He'd be just as good.
Okay.
Because LeBron's the pinnacle for
And then-
at least us. But
And then I remember they didn't also pan they after they lost Game 7 and Connor's in the locker room and he's just crying.
yeah, he won.
he's-
He won finals. He won the Conn Smythe, which is the Finals MVP in hockey.
and they lost.
So he played that good. I mean, they went down 3-0, came back.
Wait,
forced the Game
if they
7.
would that have been the greatest comeback in sports history if they came back from that?
Yeah, I don't think anyone in hockey's ever come back
No,
from
in
3-0.
general, 3-0.
I think the Red Sox one's probably
Was that
better
against
still.
us?
No way.
That was against us in the ALCS.
No way.
Yeah. That was
So-
04.
What year was that?
04.
Yeah.
04.
Holy,
All-time choke
that's
job.
such
The Yankees
yikes.
choked the 3-0 lead.
So,
All right, that's just
but-
pissed me off. I want to end the segment now.
All right, let's just get right into the swing.
You
of
didn't
things.
know this?
I forgot.
That was the
You
that
poor
was
Gore.
the curse when the curse of the Bambino was lifted.
Bro, I used to be
Yeah.
such a huge Yankee fan, so I forgot about that. But yeah,
But yeah, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 26 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Tyler Schwartz, Anthony Cavino, and Giovanni Squiteri coming at you from the studio once again. Lads, I think, is this the first pod of October or the second one?
first.
First time recording a pod in October.
No.
Yeah, because,
Oh, yes, it is.
yeah.
No, a week
You
ago
sure?
today was October 1st.
Oh, so yeah,
Yeah,
a week ago today was October 1st, which means
Correct.
the first pod came out on October 3rd or something.
Correct.
So, first recording in October, I guess. Lads, how we feeling? How we doing?
we just here, bro.
We're here.
We ready.
We're here.
ready.
You ready?
We here. We ready. Let's do it.
We got a jam-packed episode for y'all today. Obviously, we're continuing our preseason power rankings, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail. We're doing teams ranked 10th through 6th, so only 2 more episodes left of this little mini-series, as is the penultimate one. Obviously, we got some big-time ESPN news that we're going to talk about later on, or right in the next segment. We have some more trade rumors and details regarding Antoine's New York Knicks. We'll talk some preseason because obviously basketball's back now. And yeah, we'll get into shower thoughts later on. So, guys, anything else before we sort of dive right in?
Wait, I don't know if we were recording, but Mr. Gio brought up
Mr. Gio?
Jets stuff for the Jets fan.
Oh, yeah.
Because today, one person was removed
Yeah.
from office.
Very,
Yeah, so we
very.
talked about the Mets. Now we can talk about the Jets real quick.
His-
Robert Sala
His
was
former DC.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, he
Niners
was hot as
former
hell.
coordinator.
Jets legend Robert Saleh.
Yeah,
Tyler
was
is,
fired.
you know what was we were thinking about we were like we wonder if they left him in London. They were like, take your own charter flight back to New Jersey.
Imagine. No, he got fired.
But he got fired
He got
today in
fired today,
office.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he got dragged out by security, didn't even get a chance to speak to the team.
They said he walked in like 5 minutes before.
He just went in, he had no idea.
Yeah. And
So-
then just Woody came in his office.
Car crash of an organization, that's all I really have to say.
They said they had to escort him with security.
Yes.
So
that's
apparently
what
he was
said.
flipping.
Well, I don't know if he was flipping. I guess he
No.
just wanted to go try and see the team, but they wouldn't
Yeah,
let
he
him.
wanted to go see the team.
So,
And the funny thing is, when they fired Adam Gase 4 years, like, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
it's a couple of years ago, yeah.
He was never escorted out by security.
Well, that's because it was the end of the season. He
understand
He was told
that.
he was told he was getting fired the day before our last game,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of walked out from there. But
Yeah, it's
kind of is
very-
what it is. Send Hackett to Saturn, and yeah, it's kind of my thoughts and opinions on it. But anything else from y'all before we dive right in to the first story?
No,
Let's
go.
Let's do it. So if you guys are on YouTube and you are new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. We're pushing all the way up in subs. We're trying to get to 4K, 5K. We're just trying to keep it going. Hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. That way you're notified every single time we upload, which is every single day, anywhere from 4 to 6 p.m., depending on, how long it takes me to edit these shorts and everything like that. If you guys are on Spotify and the audio platforms, give us 5 stars. Follow us on there. Answer all the polls, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on our socials, as you can see down below in the description, or on the screen right here is our personal ones. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all the housekeeping in general, right? Did I miss anything? No?
No.
Then we could just dive right into the first story. And lads, we're starting off with the biggest story of the episode. ESPN has announced that Shams Charania will be the new senior NBA insider, replacing the legendary Adrian Wojnarowski after many, I think, what was it, like 7 or 8 years at the company, and after obviously many years of him in the industry. Obviously, we didn't know at first who was going to get the job. Obviously, Shams was a highly sought after commodity in the industry. They also have 2 insiders at ESPN right now, Jeff Passan for baseball, Adam Schefter for football. Chris Haynes was also a shout. And for some weird reason, Jake Fisher was mentioned. I don't know why, but I think it was just because he was the only other journalist that had his contract up with his company. So I don't know what his plans are from here. But yeah, they've gone with Shams. Yesterday morning, I believe, or it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, there was rumors that they were in advanced talks. They called it at the 5-yard line of getting a deal done. And then about literally an hour later, an announcement came up. So yeah, they had Woj on SportsCenter later on in the day. Shams texted him apparently after he announced his retirement, and he told Shams, "I hope he has a fulfilling and as rewarding of a career as I have." So clearly there is no beef between them, or at least not anymore. Contrary to popular belief, these two probably respect the hell out of each other. And now he's passed on the torch, following in the footsteps and everything like that. So we'll go over to you first, Antoine. Your thoughts on this decision from ESPN?
I think it was, to be honest, the only decision they had to make. I think the platform that he has, also amongst other content creators like Pat McAfee, Kay Adams, he's always on their shows.
Right.
He's well loved and respected by those guys. And I'm sure Woj was the same way. I think he's going to elevate them a little bit. I don't know as much as Woj, but he's on the younger side. So I think he's going to connect a little bit with an audience that's definitely younger. He's definitely built up a name for himself, starting off with Stadium, and I think he was just at Stadium. I don't remember if he went to another company, but Twitter is where he's at. We remember when he first started coming up with Woj, it was a battle who tweeted it out first. Now there's no battle anymore.
Yeah,
it's gonna be just him and him only. So if he's breaking news or draft picks, it's just gonna be Shams. We're not gonna get Woj Shams going back and forth.
Chris Haynes, though.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He could wind up with either NBC or Amazon easily, and he does the same exact stuff.
That's true. We'll have to wait, a year when they come up. Yeah. And maybe someone else comes along that does the same thing.
Potentially,
from a smaller company. But right now, the big name was, of course, Shams. I knew from the beginning this was his to take.
Cap. Stop capping, bro. I'm just gonna call out Cap right now. I was the only. Hold on.
Who else did you?
Let me finish,
who
bro.
else did you? I said it's Shams or Haynes.
Nah, bro.
And I said it's gonna be.
You
Shams.
said it's probably not gonna be Shams. Both of you guys said that. I was the only one last episode that said it's gonna be Shams, and then you guys said no, it's not. This guy.
Shams said that he wanted to take down ESPN by himself.
Yeah.
That we're going off of that logic. Now it's completely.
Right. You thought it was.
But you said you knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Who did I say?
You said either Passan or Schefter.
Oh yeah, I was sold on Passan or Schefter taking that.
I'm gonna start calling you out.
Yeah, we gotta start having
That's
like
fine,
a counter.
but
crazy.
I think the logical one, the logical person was Shams, because you're not giving Shefty and Passan double work, and
they get a lot more money though.
Exactly, but you need a basketball mind, and Shams is that. I know Passan and Shefty could have bad, but you distracted them from what they really do.
Well, I mean,
it
depends, because most of the busy times during the NBA season is Passan's off season.
Yeah.
Because if you're talking trade deadline, obviously the draft would be during his season, but like if you're talking about like a majority of what you need to be doing, the trade deadline is probably the most important. And that's where he would shine. Same thing with Schefter too, because I mean like the draft, the trade deadline, the off season, everything. That would have been perfect for him more than Passan, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously Shams just starts doing everything at this point. I mean, he's
a young guy.
He was leaking the NFL draft. He's the one that leaked that Biden dropped out of the presidential race.
Wow.
He does everything. He does everything for clicks.
Interesting.
And sometimes he does cross the line, like with the whole Andrew Wiggins situations, like we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically that's essentially.
Would you even label him a sports journalist?
He is a sports journalist, yes.
Because if he's going,
that's the only non-sports thing I've seen him do. But
interesting.
He's just a. I don't even know what to describe Shams and Woj as. They're kind of journalists. They're kind of reporters.
They're in their own
separate genre.
Yeah,
yeah.
They do their own. They're that good,
Yeah.
But yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole thing, Gio?
I don't know. I mean,
because you called it.
Yeah, I did call that.
That's why he's Jesus.
Okay.
Okay, you're canceled, but
That's why
pat myself on the back.
you're.
So basically, my thoughts now are that's a lot of work for Shams, right? Because he's working like full time the whole year now, right?
Well, he does that for Stadium anyways.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
just
he won't be at
transitioning.
Stadium anymore.
But it's still an extra workload. I feel like
Oh, yeah, ESPN
But
is a
it's
lot more.
a lot of
A
money,
lot of travel, a lot of money. Remember, Woj left 20 mil on the table.
right?
So I can only imagine how much money Shams got.
What do you think? Like 30, 40?
Not more, but maybe around.
I'm going to say
I'd say like 25.
I'm going to say 20. I'm
So
going
you
to say
wanna
20
stick with 20?
because I think they're going to pay like Stephen A more.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Shams was a master negotiator. He was like, "Yeah, bring that up to 25, and I'll take the job."
Maybe.
I think that's what happened. We'll see. And if it happens, Anthony's gonna try to take credit for it and be like, "I called it the whole time." Da da da. No,
He's like,
I called.
he's like, I knew from the beginning that this was going to happen.
I knew.
It's like I had a
I
feeling.
called
That's a
it.
classic, man.
I called it.
He's like that. He's like that LeBron interview.
Yo.
I called it.
He's like, I knew he was gonna be good. Yeah,
Yeah. When he was 5 years old, driven up the court, I knew he was gonna be in the NBA.
I love
He was
it.
like, "Savannah, this is special. That's you, bro."
Yeah,
That's funny. But yeah, that's my thoughts, man. A lot of work, but he can do it. He's a young guy. He's capable.
he's what, like 30?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
He's fully
Yeah.
capable.
he's got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Apparently, Pat McAfee was a big deciding factor, driving factor with this whole thing. Because obviously, before McAfee moved to ESPN, he always would have Shams on the show, and I would always get really like rubbed the wrong way whenever he would have Shams on the show at ESPN, because like that's what Woj is there for, and it just seems a little bit weird. He would have Woj on from time to time, but like now, obviously, it's changed a lot. So now he's probably going to be on that show on the regular.
Yeah, and he already had Passing On regularly and Shefty.
Right,
And
yeah.
Rap. And yeah.
Just all of them. So it's kind of what it is. But yeah, we also did get the first Shams bomb yesterday, which was a 3-year, $59 million contract extension for Magic center Wendell Carter Jr.
I missed that.
Rip to the best contract in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because that man was on a descending deal. He was making like 10 mil next year.
Yeah.
But
I guess they believe in him.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
really what it
Somehow,
is.
some way.
he's the best.
Wait, how much is he getting?
I don't know.
3 year.
Oh wait, for Wendell Carter,
59?
3-year, $59 mil.
What
That's 19.
Why do they pay him that much?
He deserves
Okay.
it, man. He's good.
No, I think he'll be good.
He's
decent.
okay.
He's good, man.
He's decent.
He's
Who would you?
okay
I mean,
at
who would you
best.
rather pay, him or an injury-prone Jonathan Isaac that's played 3 games in 5
I'm
years?
definitely paying Jonathan Isaac.
You can't risk that. Jonathan
I don't
Isaac
care.
took a much more
Hey,
team-friendly deal.
this is a hot take.
Isaac
but
is better.
A hot take. I would rather have Wendell than Cat.
What? Okay.
On
That's retarded.
on a good day, I'll have Wendell.
Okay, let me
That doesn't make any sense.
Let me clarify for context, just for the viewers, so they don't literally go off on this kid. In any situation, as far as just who's better, Cat is miles better than Wendell
Do
Carter.
you think that?
No, I'm taking Cat over Wendell.
It
But
just-
on a good day,
he thinks that Wendell?
if Cat is piss poor, I'm taking Wendell. That's the only opportunity.
Well, obviously, you'd rather
Duh.
take. a
I'll
player
take Wendell.
better.
Okay, to make it better, I'm taking Wendell over Mitchell Robinson.
Oh
Any day.
yeah.
That's like
Any
Mitchell
day.
Robinson's bottom tier.
That's like
Any
taking.
day.
That's like taking LeBron over Thanasis. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, if Cat's piss poor,
When?
Wendell.
You're saying
When?
if.
It's when, bro. We all know it's when.
Stop hating on Cat.
You have a 34-game sample size of
Stop
playoff games.
hating on Cat. Cat is most improved player this year. Okay,
What?
most improved.
He averaged 28 this past season.
Most improved.
It's just crazy,
Yeah, no.
bro.
We'll get into Cat
Wendell's
talk
okay.
eventually.
Wendell's
He's like
good.
middle of the pack center.
If he can improve though.
If I were to compare him to a player right now, I'm trying to think who it could be. Like,
He is Patrick Williams,
no, Patrick Williams is a lot worse than Wendell Carter Jr.
but he got a bag.
Yeah, but he got a bag. I'm talking about similar as far as like skill and just like overall ability goes.
I would say he's like
he averages like 10 and 10 a game.
he's like Evan Mobley minus the defense.
No,
I would say-
he can't score like Mobley.
there's got to be the one perfect comparison. I just can't think
He
of who
he
it is.
reminds
Vucevic.
he reminds
Yes.
me he reminds
the
me of
Nikola
a younger Al Horford.
Not
Because
really.
Horford would drop points.
He reminds me of just a better contract Vucevic.
Yeah.
That's
And
really
I
what
think
it
Vucevic is better in his prime. at
Vucevic
least.
was better in his.
Vucevic was a 2-time All-Star, so like,
Wendell's not even an All-Star.
well, that's because he's not starting, but he will start. He will be starting this year, according
Yeah.
to Jamal Mosley.
Yeah, he should.
But
And getting cooked
by
No.
who?
by every center.
You think
in the
he?
NBA.
Imagine he cooks cat, bro.
No one's
man.
cooking cat.
Okay.
You literally just said you would
like,
take Wendell
No
Carter.
one is cooking cat on my watch.
I really just
Did you see Cat? Did you see Cat hit a 3 from half court in the preseason game? I don't think so.
I thought you said preseason doesn't matter.
But it's a Cat 3-pointer from almost half court.
Yeah, but it's preseason. It doesn't count.
It counts. It went in.
That's why he played good. It doesn't count. But yeah, back to Shams. We went off on a tangent there. Wendell Carter was the first Shams bomb, or Sham Wow, whatever we want to call it.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's kind of essentially the main gist of it.
He did tweet about college basketball today.
Yeah, I think Juju
Juju
Watkins
Watkins
got
got
a Nike brand deal extension.
So I guess he's tapping toes and
yeah, he's going to do everything
Some
basketball
things.
related, NBA,
Yeah.
WNBA.
yeah.
He's the senior NBA/WNBA insider.
Now, does Shams have people working for him? That would be interesting.
I
Because
have
like
no idea.
he can do less work and he can
know-
have his little guys
I know Woj
running
does-
around getting
Woj
information.
didn't. Woj did not.
Yeah, I don't think Shams is going to.
I think that would be smart.
I just hope ESPN forces him to not leak the draft
Okay.
because I
Yes.
really can't stand when
Because
that
ESPN
happens.
does broadcast it, so they could tell him.
It annoys the piss out of me when that happens.
Um,
But any sort of final thoughts regarding Shams Charania?
No, just congrats. We're going to see him talk
Yeah.
to Malika every day.
Yay.
And
Yay.
Wendy and Ramona.
Oh,
and-
Monica McNutt hosted NBA Today yesterday, and she did like 12 times better of a job.
You know, I love Monica because she's on MSG.
I don't know who that
That's
is.
the one problem I have with ESPN. Like the entire ESPN crew works for the Knicks, and it's like kind of
Well,
frustrating.
Monica.
Monica McNutt, they have Alan Hahn, you have
Yes.
basically Stephen A.
Oh,
Smith,
Monica McNutt.
Mike Breen.
Kendrick Perkins, Mike Breen. They
Kendrick
basically
Perkins doesn't work for the Knicks.
Kendrick Perkins has been Schmidt riding the Knicks for the past 2 years.
Who do you show? Oh, that's Monica McNutt.
Yeah.
Yes. She was the one that roasted Stephen A.
Yes.
on First Take and
I'm so glad she
blew
did
up.
that.
Really?
But why do you think that there was a lot of complaints regarding the coverage of Game 7 between the Knicks and Pacers? It was basically Knicks pregame, Knicks postgame. Like that whole panel was depressed.
Well, yeah, of course,
Like-
because then
But you gotta-
their viewership goes down.
It's national TV. You have to be unbiased, and it pissed
Yeah.
off a lot of the media. So it kind of is what it is. But
I know.
I think on that note, if there's nothing else
No.
we have to say,
That's all, folks.
Just congrats.
congrats to Shams.
Yeah, we'll
we wish
see.
him well. He'll probably be around for the next long while.
No, he'll be around for
Yeah.
a long time.
And yeah, I think at this time, we'll move on. All right, so I kind of screwed myself here because I was just complaining how ESPN made Game 7 all about the Knicks, and we're about to talk about the Knicks again. So, here we are. But last week, if you guys do want to go check out episode 25, links down in the description. The Knicks obviously made a humongous blockbuster trade for Karl Anthony Towns in exchange for Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and like a bunch of other assets and stuff like that. A bunch of reports obviously tend to come out after all these trades are made, and a lot more information is available. Now, I don't know if we talked about it last week on the episode because I don't remember, but the Knicks had tried to go for Jazz center Walker Kessler,
Yes.
and they had tried for months. They were throwing in as much assets and everything as they want. It was like Randall and, DiVincenzo, Robinson, McBride, like whoever, right? And remember what I told you specifically a few months ago, that when you're making trades with Danny Ainge, you need one thing. Do you remember what that thing is?
Draft picks.
Exactly, draft picks. Now, Danny Ainge wants 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler. First of all, that's ridiculous. I mean, I wouldn't even give 1 for Walker Kessler.
No.
But when it comes to Danny Ainge, and Walker Kessler's got a high ceiling as a good defensive center and a lob threat, he wants the assets because you're trading for someone that's essentially available, but you don't want to trade. And the Knicks had exhausted all their picks. The only thing they could trade was that Pistons pick, which wound up going to Minnesota. But the problem is Danny Ainge didn't want any other team's picks. They wanted your picks.
Dang.
Because they know this. They know the situation they'll be in within 4 or 5 years, and that's why all of them went to us because they tried to acquire a guy that wasn't available. The Nets did not want to trade Mikal Bridges, hence why we got the extra draft capital. So essentially, that's kind of that. Obviously, there's more trade rumors. We'll talk about in a few minutes regarding that. But as far as that kind of goes, that's the kind of price you have to pay when trading with Danny Ainge. And literally not even 48 hours after Kessler was off the table, they quickly got this deal done with Minnesota. So the Knicks kind of moved very quickly on this. And that's one thing I will credit the front office. Whether we like the move for them or not, they made a decision. They stuck with it. And they didn't look back. But however, do we want to give thoughts on this before we move on to the rumors, or
Sure. The thing with Walker Kessler is, of course, you're keeping Randall and Devo.
right?
I think that's just a pick trade. Maybe you throw in a Deuce McBride. So that would have been a team with Randall, Walker Kessler, and you have Devo. You have more depth.
Right.
That's the only positive. But you also have a Randall coming off an injury. Kessler, if he's going to fit into what they want to do. Cat, you're getting another star in there. That's going to help immediately. You do lose depth. You, of course, take on more money with Cat, but offloading Randall and Devo at the same time, it kind of almost evens it out. I'm more happy with the Cat trade. I would have been fine with Kessler either way because Randall helps the team, so does Devo.
Right.
It's just kind of how it crumbled for them, and they had to go the Cat route. So, the Cat route worked because they gave up no picks besides one.
You did give up one.
Yeah,
pick.
one pick, but mostly it was player assets.
Right. You can't trade any more picks. The only thing you can do now is swap
Correct.
your 26, 2030, and 2032
Yeah.
because of the Stippian rule. But for those that don't know what the Stippian rule is, there was a GM back in the day. I forget his first name, but his last name was Stippian. And my guy did not give a shit about his draft picks. He would trade just an entire decade's worth for players. And that's why you can't trade consecutive years anymore. That's why the swaps come in. But, the only thing, if I were to play devil's advocate here with Walker Kessler, he's young. He's even when he gets an extension, it's going to be a lot less than what Cat's making.
Yep.
That's kind of the only thing. You don't know what his playoff production is going to be like as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So now we get into the trade rumors, and this is where I'll kind of segue a question over to Gio. A few players the Knicks have been intrigued by and trying to make trades with. Grizzlies guard Marcus Smart, Raptors guard Bruce Brown, and basically just kind of anyone that makes a good amount of money to offload some other contracts. Now, Gio, I want your thoughts. How would a fit of either of these players work for the Knicks? And what do you think they'd have to get rid of to kind of get these guys? And just for context, Bruce Brown makes $22.5 million, and Smart makes about 20.7, 20.8. And because they're over the first apron, they have to trade like for like. So you have to trade almost like 80% worth of the salary. So if you're trading 20 mil, you have to get back, or you have to get rid of like 18 something. So something like that. So give me your thoughts. Kind of cook up for a little bit.
Interesting. I didn't know they got paid around the same amount.
Yeah.
It's also funny because they kind of have the same play style. Bruce Brown and Marcus Smart, both very solid defenders, very good, I would say, team players, very good. They could also bring up the ball.
Yep.
So they're both very similar in their play style. I would say, though, I personally like Marcus Smart better for the Knicks. But that's probably because I like Marcus Smart better, period.
Right.
And I just like his style of defense, his tenacity, his nastiness, his instincts on defense. I like Marcus Smart for that more. I think it would benefit the Knicks at the guard position, especially because they have Brunson. Brunson's not the best of defenders, although he does draw charges. He's not your go-to on-ball defender. So I think Marcus Smart would absolutely help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would fit this sort of defensive sort of minded team that they started to build when they added Anunoby, when they added Mikal Bridges, who I think is going to have a huge defensive season.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in terms of what's the other guy?
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown. He's good. He's a great energy piece on a championship team. I just don't think the Knicks are a championship team. So
Oh.
I don't know if Bruce Brown will
Okay.
be the better fit for the Knicks.
Before I give my thoughts on this, since you just dropped that bomb, care to respond, Mr. Knicks fan?
They're not. They're borderline.
Oh,
I
okay.
think the farthest they can make is the finals because then they got to get the Celtics, and there's no way to beating the Celtics. I agree with him about Smart. If I'm the Knicks, I want Smart because I don't trust campaign minutes. I don't trust Tyler Kolek minutes as a rookie. If you want, Deuce McBride is better fit as a shooting guard. That's what he played at West Virginia his entire 4-year career.
Right.
Bruce wouldn't be a point guard. Marcus, I love the energy he brings. I love the veteran leadership. If you're trading for Smart, you definitely move campaign out of there. You definitely could move Mitch out of there. Josh Hart, I have no idea. Maybe picks. That's literally all I could think of. I think Bruce would cost more because the Raptors want more assets. The Grizzlies are kind of going to go up and further this year among the standings.
Right.
I don't have nothing wrong with this take.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. I also don't think they're a championship team,
No.
but they can contend for one.
Right.
I disagree, though. I think Bruce Brown's a better fit. I also think Bruce Brown's going to be a lot easier to trade for
Okay.
because I think you want to get Mitchell Robinson off the books. Memphis just drafted Zach Edey. They have no use for him.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're trading for Smart and you have to recoup 20 mil, Josh Hart's going to have to be the guy to go, which gets rid of even more depth. And
Yep.
look, I mean, I feel really bad for Marcus Smart, but there's a reason why the Celtics never won a ring with him. Drew Holiday was an upgrade. But even outside of that, I think Bruce Brown will bring more of a punch to that lineup.
I disagree with that take.
He's going to be a bench guy, though.
Right. I think that's what you need right now, to be honest with you.
No, we need bench depth.
You need bench depth, but
They both provide it.
right. But I don't know. I don't know if the Raptors want to do another deal with the Knicks. That's kind of my mindset on it. I don't know who else they'd want besides Deuce McBride is going to have to go regardless, whether Hart goes or not. He played so well in that preseason game, which we'll talk about later on,
Yes.
that he's highly sought after. We tried everything we could to try and get him to Brooklyn, but we wound up getting Shake Milton instead because it was just too expensive. So I understand the value of Deuce here, but as far as who to get, I honestly would go for neither of them.
Yeah.
I would just try and see who's available for a cheaper option at the deadline and kind of work from there. But y'all got a lot of work to do, and I don't trust this front office necessarily to to skimp out on a deal and fleece a team.
Right.
They're
I don't
going to
think
overpay.
The Knicks are capable of doing that.
Right.
No.
And my other argument for Bruce Brown, he's already experienced playing in New York, especially for a high-stakes big three with the Nets and everything. And look, both players had their playoff fuck-ups. You know, Bruce Brown missed that layup in Game 3 against the Bucks. He makes it, we go up 3-0. If not, he didn't make it, and that's exactly why we went, we lost both games in Milwaukee, and the rest was kind of history. But, yeah, I see the pros and cons to both guys. But right now, I would stand pat. I would kind of just chill and see who's available come trade deadline. So that's kind of my sort of basis with it. Now, my question for you, Gio, is the Knicks front office setting a dangerous precedent about building these kind of teams? And because obviously we saw the big trades, getting rid of all your future and everything like that. That's kind of along the same lines as this, but the Knicks just seem like that little kid at the all-you-can-eat buffet getting like 6 plates of food and can only really eat half of one plate. So are the Knicks kind of biting off more than they can chew? Are they setting a dangerous precedent for these younger rising teams going forward?
I don't think they're setting a dangerous precedent because I think most of the league is pretty much pointing and laughing.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think they're really like, ooh, I think the Knicks just did a huge thing here. I think most of the league is like, okay, why did you do that? But
Right.
let's just see how it plays out. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like that perspective that other teams and fans of the NBA took, where it's like, okay, let's see what happens because this doesn't really look too good on paper. You know what I mean? In terms of like how they got fleeced by the Nets in that deal. So, yeah, I don't think they're setting a dangerous precedent.
Okay. What about you, Antoine, as the Knicks fan?
Don't give me that nasty look.
I don't think they're laughing because going off of the GM survey, which we're going to talk about next week, that I read through today,
Yeah.
the GMs voted that the Cat trade was the most surprising move of the offseason.
But the surprising mean good or bad?
I don't know. That's why I have to go back and see. And
Yeah.
then they also voted Cat and McHale as the two players that are going to impact their team the most. Cat was 1, McHale was 2.
In terms of
Who's
Most
going to impact?
There was also a big
Who's going to impact the team the most? And Cat and McHale were 1 and 2.
No, Cat and McHale were 2.
No.
They were tied for second. Paul George was first.
No. Oh, no. Paul was first. Yes,
It was
he's right.
by a
Paul
very.
George
There was
first.
like a
I'm
big
sorry.
gap between Paul George and
Paul
Cat
George
and
was
McHale.
first. Cat and McHale were tied second. And then the Cat trade, I guess, surpassed PG for the most surprising move of the offseason.
Yeah,
That's
because no
what
one
they
saw it
voted
coming.
for.
If they were going to do it, it was going to be last year.
Yeah.
Because that's when the Wolves had question marks. They had just gotten, beaten in 5 games in the first round and kind of needed some work. Remember the whole drama at the end of last season when Rudy Gobert punched Kyle Anderson and McDaniels punched the wall and broke his hand? That was like huge drama. And really credit to Minnesota for kind of, regrouping and getting better over last year. But I kind of agree with Antoine. I don't think the Knicks are a laughing stock.
No.
However, I just lost my train of thought. I don't think they're a laughing stock, but I do think that the Knicks are kind of confusing a lot of people regarding the NBA because a lot of moves, trying to win now.
Yeah.
But
I don't see this. I don't know. I don't understand the sense of urgency.
Yeah. I think the Knicks had a lot of wiggle room without even trading for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I think they could have just ran it back with this squad, see if Randall works, and if not, he's easily gone at the deadline. Someone would pick him up.
Yeah.
And then you kind of work from there. Like maybe you trade problem for problem if someone's on an expiring deal that's not working out for their team.
Yeah. The thing is, I think everything works because none of this happens if you essentially, they would run back the whole team last year because if McHale doesn't happen, you bring back Hartenstein. So you have the same team last year, just Randall's coming back, and the whole Cat trade's off the table.
I don't even know if Hartenstein was a guarantee because remember the price you paid Anunoby? Because the Thunder still could have easily offered.
Yeah, but I
money.
think we would have the priority with not trading for McHale either.
Right, but what I'm saying is would Leon Rose give Hartenstein $29 million a year for Hartenstein? That's the question mark I have. But I think I'll close with this. I don't think, because I remembered my thought. I don't think they're the laughing stock, but right now I think all the GMs are noticing the Knicks have zero leverage now in trades. Mm-hmm. Just when you have no assets and outside, I mean, your 2 most valuable assets right now are Josh Hart and Deuce McBride. Because we all know Brunson's the only untouchable on this team. McHale and Anunoby can't be traded until February 15th. Not that they're going anywhere anyways, or January 15th. And who else? I mean, no one wants Mitchell Robinson. He's going to wind up walking for nothing in free agency. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where it is. So if any team gets a call from Leon Rose, I'm playing hardball, full pause. But, if you want, let's say they make a call for, I don't know, Zach LaVine. If I'm Chicago, give me Hart and McBride or no deal. It's kind of just the scenario in my mind.
Zach LaVine is ridiculous. Yeah. I would.
If you guys trade for Zach LaVine, come to Brooklyn. It's okay. We'll take you.
I don't know what mind agrees to that LaVine trade.
But it's just a out of the blue example. But you get the picture, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of that sense. But
yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Big risk for the Knicks. Let's see if it, turns out good for them.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm more curious about the exit. I'm curious to see how they handle it.
Yeah.
If guys walk for nothing, if you get good returns.
Right.
Right now, I think Brunson's the only guaranteed good return. Mm-hmm. Brunson will net you, I think, 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah.
And it depends on what team you're trading with. If you're trading with a team like Danny Ainge, then maybe you won't get 3. But if you're trading with the Suns, you'll probably get 7. It just kind of is what it is. No, they won't. But yeah, that's kind of the main Knicks talk as of right now.
Yeah.
So any final thoughts regarding the Knicks trade rumors?
No.
All right. Let's move on to the next segment. All right. Into the next segment, the next story. Lads, the NBA is kind of back, I guess. It's not, these games don't count. They don't mean shite, but it's good to see the lads back on the floor. And obviously, I think at the time of last episodes when it dropped, it was like the day before the first game. So there's obviously a lot to talk about. This is kind of where we see, guys shake the rust off of the offseason. We see the young guys kind of start to prove it. And we see, guys get their chance. This is where, someone like a Darius Baisley or someone like that will kind of get an opportunity. And they'll either make the team or they won't. And that's kind of the gist of it. I think the Knicks are giving TJ Warren a chance. We have the same thing with Killian Hayes. So stuff like that always happens. So do you want to just dive into some of the, I have some notes here regarding the first weekend of preseason.
Yeah.
So let's, I guess, start with the elephant in the room, or I guess the camel in the room. The Nuggets and Celtics played in the second ever NBA Abu Dhabi games. I know last year, I think the Bucks and someone played there. There were games there in Tokyo last year, but just Abu Dhabi this year. They played 2 games. Both were kind of entertaining-esque games. The first one was a lot better because everyone played, but the Nuggets sat a couple of the starters in the second game. But this will be the first of many as the U.S.-UAE relations regarding the NBA are getting stronger. So we're going to have maybe some regular season games out there at some point, which will be pretty cool. The Celtics did win both games, but obviously, like Antoine said, the scores don't matter because kind of is what it is. But we did take away some things from that game. Russell Westbrook, Gio's glorious king. I don't know if you saw any highlights from the game.
I didn't watch the full highlights, but I saw that he hit a few threes.
He did hit a few threes. He was 50% from the field, playing really good defense. Did roll his ankle a little bit, but he was able to keep playing. Okay. So they sat him out of the second game.
Left or right ankle?
Right, I want to say. It didn't completely roll. He just tweaked it.
Good.
So he'll be good for opening night. Nikola Jokic played in the first half in both of those games, and my God, I have no words. I have no words.
The glaze is in.
The glaze? Bro, I'm telling you, the 3 players that you'll see me glaze the fuck out of this year are him, Cam Thomas, and Wemby. Yeah. The 3 of them are gonna Evan Mobley low-key might be a shout also. He's hooping right now. Yeah. So, but look, Jokic had 14, 10 and 8 in the first half of one of the games, and he had 20 and 7 in the first half. And you just see the way he commands the ball. And the Celtics announcers were on the call, and they said he's the only player that they fear in a playoff series.
Is Jokic.
And they interviewed Jason Tatum. At what point did you think that they would win when Denver lost?
He said that?
He said that.
Wow.
So
the entire league is glazing Jokic.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, it's due to him.
It's crazy, even though everyone's disrespecting the Nuggets, thinking they got worse or that they're not serious anymore.
Come on.
It's crazy. However, we do have to address Jamal Murray, still ass.
Yeah.
Was not good. Only had 4 points, won 1 of 3 from the field. Just not being aggressive, just doesn't look like himself. And he just signed a massive extension like we talked about a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And just preseason though, right?
Well, yeah, just preseason. But as a new Nuggets fan, I would love to hear your thoughts. Any concerns?
Yeah. If we want to win, Jamal has to be good. Okay? If we want to win, Jamal Murray has to be himself. Let's just put it that way. And then Russ will do the rest. He'll do the rest.
He'll do the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of figured you would say that.
Yeah. Russ he's too old at this point to carry the load Jamal Murray needs to carry.
He's carrying the energy, though.
He's carrying the energy. When he comes in there, credit. Even when he's on the bench, he has the energy. But in terms of the load of the game, he's too old to do that at this point.
That's fair. Also, I do remember you made a really hot take a couple months ago, and you might be right about Michael Porter Jr.
What did I say?
You said he was going to lead the team in scoring.
Yeah.
He's not going to lead the team in scoring, but I do think he could low-key average over 20 a game if Jamal's playing like ass.
Telling you, man.
Could happen.
It's very possible.
Could very well happen.
It's very possible. I'm happy you remember these things. I forget all my hot takes.
Because usually I forget, but I edit everything, and it's just kind of fresh in my mind.
Yeah, it's there.
My brain is also the most interesting thing you'll ever see.
It's
I know the weirdest things. Like sometimes I wish I didn't know things, you know.
Like an encyclopedia, you just pull things out. Like
Just pull things
Yeah.
in. Yeah, it's just part of my many weird isms about me. But I guess we all are unique. We're all weird. Just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
But on the Celtics end, the story was not about Tatum, was not about Brown. Obviously, Tingus is hurt. It wasn't about Joe Mazzulla. It was about Peyton Pritchard.
okay,
My man was like making it rain.
yeah, he's a hooper.
He's a
I always
hooper.
knew that.
And the funniest thing is, I think his only points in the finals were like half court shots
Yeah,
Yes.
across both finals that they were in.
yeah. He didn't get that much opportunity.
Right. And I think now he's really starting to like come into his own. I really think the absence of Porzingis, ironically enough, will help him out because he's the sixth man now. It's not going to be Horford. So we'll kind of see going forward. I don't think Horford played though in that preseason game. I don't think he traveled with the team. So
He's too old to be playing in the preseason anyway.
very true.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll be
but
fine.
Yeah. As someone that has to go through the Celtics if they want to win, do you have any thoughts, if you saw any highlights regarding Boston, anything kind of about them?
No, I mean, I saw the box scores. They gave a lot of minutes. Julian Strouder looked interesting.
He's going to be good, man.
He
He
looked
just needs to
good.
stay healthy. That's kind of his only issue.
I think Boston, I saw PP. PP
Oh.
looked really good. PP's taking notes from PP.
Fast PP, remember?
Fast PP.
You know, I thought he was trolling when I actually looked on his reference page and it says fast PP.
there's
Yeah.
no way.
I don't know why. Like, that makes no sense.
I did see Philly yesterday's preseason game. Their bench looked decent. They gave a lot of minutes to Jared McCain. Yabusele was perfect from the field. We'll get into Philly, but
Yeah.
Philly saw that. The Knicks, I saw the first half of their preseason game. It was kind of all over.
What about
the
Boston,
place.
though? We're on Boston right now.
I don't care about Boston. We'll go back to Boston. We'll go back to
Yeah, do you want to talk about Philly?
No, we'll go back to Boston. Like I said, I think, of course, the starting five is going to be the same. The bench, of course, if there's no Horford, PP is going to have to step up. Sam Hauser as well got the bag this offseason. Hopefully he's going to have a big year. They gave Jordan Walsh. I saw he was getting decent minutes. That was there for pick last year, first
Yeah,
or second
he
round
was a
pick,
rookie.
the bald guy.
Yep.
But
He's very good.
they're high on him.
His ceiling's
If-
stupidly
Yeah,
high.
if he gets minutes, I think he'll be another decent piece for them.
The ball guy?
Yeah.
Jordan Walsh.
Wait,
He played for Arkansas
Yeah.
in college.
wait. Is he the guy in high school that was like locking up all these?
No.
I don't know if that's him.
No, different guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think their draft pick Baylor Shireman is going to be pretty decent 3-point shooter like Hauser.
I mean, he hit the top of the backboard on his first three.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
All right, that's Baylor. You're out.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Okay.
But no,
Wild.
yeah, I think Jordan Walsh was a guy that I would see because he was a high draft pick. I was like, this guy's going to get in eventually.
Yeah.
He's not
That is the guy.
Oh, it is
Oh,
the
it is
guy?
the
Okay.
guy?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
guy that was locking up these players in high school.
Okay. All
he's-
right. So
His ceiling's
another
really good.
defender that's going to be like maybe Marcus Smart type for them.
No, better.
No, I think he's more
Or-
3 and D.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you're looking at another Derek White.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
And he's
Because
bald.
they're both bald.
And he's bald, yeah. But
yeah, but
that's
That'll
kind
be-
of the main gist of Boston and Denver. I think the two most likely teams to win the championship this year. I really want them to meet in the finals, man.
Well, that would be beautiful.
Both teams in their respective years just couldn't lock in. Otherwise, it would have been a matchup
Yeah.
for the ages. But
It's gonna happen this year,
it's
though.
going to happen this year, even though I don't think Boston's as good as Denver as far as matchup against each other goes.
okay.
But that's Boston. Let's get into Philly since you were talking about it before. Gershon Yabusele.
Yeah.
I adore this guy. He just plays the game the right way. He got his second chance in the NBA. Playing with Wemby will do you wonders. And look at
Also,
him now.
dunking on Braun will give you loads of confidence.
Exactly.
that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure Clutch Sports is probably calling the FBI on this
Yeah.
guy and like
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, we haven't heard a lick about that dunk in a while. It's the LeBron effect. Remember, Reggie Jackson broke his ankles on opening day last year. You haven't heard a single thing about it. So,
It's true.
Gio, you're high on the Sixers this year. Your kind of thoughts regarding them? Because obviously, like Antoine said, I mean, Jared McCain's getting minutes.
How
Obviously,
did he do last night?
He was good, 15 points.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Yeah.
freaking decent.
Also,
went into his own.
yeah, Reggie Jackson also got 15 points, 14. Ricky Council was a rookie last year. They gave him minutes in the first game. He did pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
They have a lot of
pretty good.
They have a lot of
Did,
young guys.
I don't remember. Did
they do
Embiid-
have a lot of young guys, and they're all confident as well.
Did Embiid play?
I'm dead.
No, Caleb Martin did though.
Right, yeah. Bro, did you see his free throw shooting routine? He just he'll dribble the ball a couple times, and he just a blank stare. And then he just kind of wakes himself up and then shoots it.
That's how he locks in.
Yeah.
Philly's gonna be fun because I love their depth, something that we lack. And then their starting five is nasty.
I just can't take them seriously until Embiid can prove to me that he can show up in the playoffs.
Yeah, but the amount of guys they have now, like he said, their depth
Right, but even like I said, if they win a championship,
and their starting five improve.
right, but if they win a championship and Embiid's getting carried, my agendas are going to be sky high, bro.
Well,
Might be a Sixers Nuggets matchup, and that would be insane.
He would have to
Embiid
play
versus Jokic.
He would have to play in Denver.
well, if
You'd have to.
if Embiid's in the finals, he has to play all 7 games. If it goes 7 games,
Well, duh. Unless
he's not
he
sitting
physically
out
can't.
any game
Right. But remember,
for any reason.
he hasn't played in Denver since 2019, so that first game in the altitude is going to kill him.
But
Yeah.
Embiid's my MVP. He has to play.
He has to, but will he? That's the thing. But
We'll see,
yeah,
man.
we'll
If it
see.
kills him, it kills him.
We'll
That'll
see.
be a cool
Okay.
matchup. I think I would like that matchup more.
I would prefer Denver Boston.
You would
No, I want Embiid Jokic 7
that's-
games.
Jokic would be historically
Bro,
amazing.
I just feel like Jamal Murray would ignite himself against
But what if
Boston.
Embiid puts Jokic in his place in the finals? What happens?
Yo,
I just don't think he could.
no, hold on.
No,
let's
what
talk about this.
happens?
Let's talk about this.
Let's talk
Tyler.
about it.
If Embiid puts Jokic in his place, meaning Embiid outperforms Jokic and
And
wins
gets
the finals,
MVP. And gets
what
MVP.
happens
That's
from
a
there?
That's a huge ask because he can't even outperform freaking Horford. Bro.
Okay, but we're saying,
No,
what
but
if that happens?
This
I'll give
happens
him his,
this year.
I'd obviously give him his flowers.
Wow.
I'd have to. I don't have no
Does that
choice.
And
mean-
then Embiid's better than Jokic.
No, still not. How?
He outperforms
Yeah, but
Jokic
one-
in the finals.
Yeah, but one
He's
just
talking
one
about one
series.
season,
No,
one
but it's
ring.
but head to head. That's
Yeah,
where
but it's-
everything is on the line.
Still, Jokic had the greatest playoff run, arguably ever, literally 2 years ago. And we're not forgetting about
2
that.
years ago.
Even still, it was
But
really one year ago.
What if Embiid just different animal this year? Every playoff series, he's averaging 30 plus, 10 boards, 5 blocks.
I mean, Jokic averaged a 30-point triple-double in 2023 in the playoffs.
Yeah, but we're talking about this year.
Right, but
Yes,
this year,
We're
this
talking about
year.
Embiid.
Yeah, he-
goes on a historic run and defeats Jokic in the finals.
yeah, he'd be the best. He'd be the best player in the world, but it wouldn't make him better than Jokic. I still think, as far as an all-time perspective go, Jokic still easily clears the guy.
Okay,
So that's kind of what I think.
fair.
But remember,
'Cause
Embiid,
it's only one season.
right? Remember though, all the matchups you're seeing when Denver plays Philly are in Philly, and Jokic doesn't play as tough as he does in the postseason playoffs. Yeah,
Now,
Well, he should. It's
but remember as far as playoff risers goes, we saw how great Jamal Murray is. Jokic is right behind him.
yeah.
So-
let's say Clippers are healthy and Kawhi is healthy, and Toronto Kawhi, and he immediately destroys Jokic in that WCF. Is
Right.
Kawhi better than Jokic?
All time, yeah. Well, not all time, but as far as right now, yeah. Like I said, if
Wait, why are we talking about Kawhi?
yeah, no, we're talking about Kawhi.
I'm talking about just injury guys that played a
Why
full
are we talking about,
season.
why are we talking about Kawhi?
yeah, but remember, Kawhi is a playoff riser. Embiid's
Yeah.
not. Embiid's statistically the biggest playoff dropper the league's ever had
We'll see this
in
year.
its 78-year history. So
Looking forward to this year. I think he has a good team around him. This is going to be huge for him.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of pressure
that's
on him
also
this year as
but
well.
that's also a dock on Embiid if they get it done, especially against Jokic. Jokic did it with no All-Stars.
Oh, come on. He has a stacked team. though.
Embiid would have an All-Star and a Hall of Famer in Paul George.
I don't know if you can consider Paul George.
He's going to make the Hall of Fame.
think he'll be over?
This is the year where Embiid has to, because they built the team around him now.
Well,
He
this-
has help.
He has time now, though. He signed an extension.
Yes, but the help, PG's getting older.
Yeah, exactly.
So
PG's
is-
old. He's not the
yeah,
same player.
That's the problem, though.
Right now.
Do you trust a dynamic duo of playoff droppers against each other?
I'm dying.
Playoff
bro.
Embiid and Pandemic P on the same team?
You're really thinking Paul George is going to drop this year?
No, here.
No way.
Paul George is he's not the same player, but he's an upgrade from what they had before.
Yeah, I would
Same
argue.
thing. Maxi's on the rise.
Yep.
Right.
We'll have to see what Maxey can do.
I think their bench as well.
Their
And then
bench, their depth is
Caleb
improved.
Martin is big.
My biggest. Well, we'll talk about Philly later on.
Right.
No, we
but
will.
Yeah,
yes.
my one. I'll save my thoughts on
Yeah.
the Philly
To the
on the
rankings.
Sixers later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, they're in the list. But yeah, we'll kind of go through Philly later on.
Yeah.
But I think Joel Embiid needs to do a lot for a couple years to pass Jokic, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't think they're close, not even remotely close. I think Giannis is
fine.
a lot closer than Embiid is.
That's fine.
So that's different. But let's see what else we got here. LeBron and Bronny shared the floor for the first time ever. Oh my God, lads! Can I be brutally honest with you?
Go for it.
I know I've been very critical on Bronny, right? I knew he wasn't going to be that good. My God, I did not think he'd be this bad.
I haven't watched. What has he been
He
doing?
had like 4 points
He had, I think
It's not terrible.
on 2
he's-
of 7 shooting.
It's not
yeah,
horrible.
I think both preseason games he's like 2 of 18 from the field.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
Bleacher Report's glazing because it's Bronny. He had a chase down block, but what they didn't show was that before the chase down block, he literally threw the ball right to the defender, and then after he blocks the shot, the Wolves get the rebound and score. So, yeah, Bronny's definitely going to be a friend of the media. But yeah, I mean this guy is not ready for NBA basketball.
You think he'll ever be?
No. I think because LeBron wanted to make history and have his son have the first father-son duo ever play, I think him essentially forcing him to declare for the draft instead of letting him play one more year in
Yeah.
college is really going to destroy his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a tweet today from either Hoop Central or Legion Hoops, and they were saying they interviewed executives, and one of the East Conference executives were like, they set this guy up to fail massively.
Especially going to the Lakers, because the Warriors wanted to take him, but didn't out of respect for LeBron. But any other situation, he would, outside of the Lakers and Knicks, he'd be fine anywhere else where the media is not down your throat about things.
Anywhere he goes, the media is going to be down his throat.
No, but like I'm talking about if he went to a small market team, it'd be a lot more sustainable for him. It would be a lot easier to kind of control.
I don't know, man.
LeBron will have a son in the league that's going to be good. It's not Bronny, it's Bryce.
Dang. You think Bryce is going to be that good?
Bryce is going to be like a lottery pick in 2026.
Bryce is going to be significantly better. Like, he's going to be a solid starter all-star for...
Whoa.
I don't know
Wow.
about that.
Solid starter to all-star?
No, I think he'll be a good role player.
All right, we'll see how
He could.
I think he's going to be a bust.
Oh,
Bryce?
Yeah. He's going to be like a
Crazy.
Josh Jackson type guy.
yeah, he'll be like Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
I don't think Bryce
wish.
will bust.
But-
Bryce
but-
is too big of a guy to
LeBron looks incredible. Year 22, he had like 20 points and a half. And it's just crazy how this man just keeps defying the odds.
doesn't shock us anymore.
Do you think Bronny has ever compared himself to his dad?
I
And
don't
be like,
think. I
yo,
don't
this
think
guy's
you
so
can.
good.
He compared himself to
trash
Derek White.
compared to him. No, but like, because his name's LeBron James. Jr.,
Yeah, his name's LeBron James Jr.
and he's his firstborn son.
Yes.
And so, do you think Bronny was ever like? Can
Oh,
I even
obviously.
recently?
he probably
like,
has.
Even sitting on the bench watching him for the Lakers.
I don't-
watching him
I don't
play.
think- I don't think-
like, can I ever get to that?
I don't think any NBA player thinks they're going to get to LeBron.
Yeah.
None. Outside of maybe Benedict Mathurin, because the interviews bro has is insane. But I don't think anyone thinks that they can reach LeBron levels. I don't think so.
No.
Even Anthony Edwards was kind of shooting down the Michael Jordan comparisons. He's
No,
like, nah.
let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Do you think Bronny watching his dad play, do you think that encourages him and motivates him to be better?
Well,
Or
of
do you
course.
think or do you think it discourages him where it's like, okay, I'm not ever going to be that good and so this and that. What do you think?
I think it's tough because, you can't make your own name because literally your name is the same as your
And
father's.
you can't compare yourself to your father, who's the greatest basketball player of all
Well, that's what people do.
time.
We know people compare
Right.
themselves.
But no matter what he does, it's just going to be, you're a byproduct of LeBron, or he's
Yeah.
only in the league because of his dad. That's
Right.
kind of what it is. Because LeBron, unfortunately to Bronny, he's not an NBA ready prospect.
Now, the question is, do you think Bronny's going to take that and use it as motivation for him, or is it going to break him?
He'll clearly,
That's the question.
it'll clearly use it as motivation, but the problem is I just don't think he's good enough.
No.
No matter how hard he tries, it's going to take a very long time. Like, I'm of the mindset that the minute LeBron retires, they're going to cut his ass. That's kind of that's what I see the Lakers doing, because LeBron won't be involved with the Lakers. He's going to own the Vegas team. So he'll obviously probably sign with the Vegas team, but I don't really see Bronny will only be on the Lakers roster as long as LeBron is there. That's kind of my mindset of it.
I'm rooting for him, man. I hope he plays well.
I hope he does. I don't want him to stink, but I'm just kind of calling it how I see it. Call us, Vegas pun intended, call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it is. So that's kind of on LeBron.
Okay.
Let's talk about a former Knicks player, Dante DiVincenzo.
Devo.
5 of 5 from 3, I believe, in his first preseason
You're
game.
gonna regret this.
Picking up right where bro left off. Can I get some thoughts?
I'm not surprised.
Do you want him to stink?
No. What? I don't want him or Randall to stink. I will say I think it's better for Randall that he's out of big media market. Dante was kind of all around, like he was a part of media, but not really. But yeah, they're picking up where he left off on a team that's probably closer to contending championship wise than the Knicks are, because I think Minnesota is a little closer. And Randall, of course, being there, I think they're going to be great over there. They're going to be the perfect role player. Randall's going to start. Dante's going to be, I would assume,
Backup shooting guard.
Yes, he'll be sixth man. He's still playing bench there, but he's going to be a great depth piece. Randall's going to start. They're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Wolves are in good shape. Obviously, Randall will play against the Knicks most likely in their next preseason game, which is kind of funny. As far as other stuff around the league, RJ Barrett looks a lot more refreshed. Obviously, went through a lot of personal stuff. He dealt with the passing of his brother and obviously being traded, out of New York.
Yep.
His first full season, Toronto, bro looks ready to go.
Yep.
John Morant had rolled his ankle, but came back into the game. And, he's doing Ja things, had a really nice block. Hartenstein was doing everything yesterday for the Thunder. I think he's really a big piece that the Thunder needed, and this could help them make a finals run.
Yeah.
And the other 2 things I have on this list, obviously, other 3 things. Karl Anthony Towns, as you mentioned, was good. Mikal Bridges, man, Macone Bridges in full force, was not looking very good.
Give him
on
time.
defense.
Give him time.
He didn't look good on defense.
Getting cooked and blown by left and right. I just think he's kind of lost that. I feel like he's lost a lot of motivation since leaving Phoenix, because he adores that franchise. Really didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, I don't really think the city's his kind of vibe.
No, give him time.
He better start finding that motivation, because they just paid him a ton of money.
No, he didn't pay him a ton of money.
Oh,
Not yet.
well, he has.
Yeah.
He is already on a big contract, so
Well,
he better.
it's not even. He's on a cheap contract. He's only making $20 million.
20 mil is a good
But
That's
amount.
still a good amount of money.
He's got the thing of 6 first-round picks. That's what's
Right.
kind of hanging on his back.
Right.
The biggest draft haul in NBA history.
So he better find that motivation
The
ASAP.
man traded for Kevin Durant. Like, that's the main guy we got back.
Yeah.
So
I know he can do it.
I know he can do it. Will he? That's the thing. That's what we need to figure out.
It's really mental for him.
Yeah.
He has to like release that mental block that's been there ever since he's gotten to Brooklyn. Get that out of the way, and then I think he'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Brunson was doing Brunson things. McBride was incredible. So we'll see what the Knicks can do. Ron Holland. Remember, I was very critical of him being drafted, or not critical of him, but critical of the Pistons for drafting him. If he keeps this up, I will hold my hands up and stand corrected. He looked fantastic yesterday or 2 days ago. The Pistons look competent. I never thought I'd see the day.
I said that. They can't be bad.
They look good, and that was
Well, it's the preseason, so
yeah. So hopefully a good season for Cade. And the final one, we gotta close it off at the buzzer with a buzzer beater. Lindy Waters hit a game-winning 3 at the buzzer in Hawaii. So that's pretty cool.
I don't know who that is.
So he was on the Thunder last year.
Okay.
So
Good for him.
yeah.
That's great, Hawaii.
yeah, hopefully that can spark the Warriors to do something. I don't know what it is, but
All right.
yeah, the Nets are playing right now, I believe.
Okay.
In the first preseason game, we have a lot of injuries though, so we're already in full tank mode.
All right.
So that's kind of what we like to see right now. We play at 10:30 against the Clippers, so not bad at all. So
All right.
that's the preseason, lads. Obviously, there's still, I think, 2 more weeks before the season starts. So
I think so.
we'll get into the swing of things from there. So any final thoughts regarding the preseason before we move on to our next edition of Power Rankings?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into part 5. All right, into the main part of the show, the main segment. It's time for part number 5 of our preseason power rankings for the 24-25 season. If you guys want to go check out part 4, the link to episode 25 is down in the description below. This is the penultimate the penultimate segment. So next week will be our final preseason power rankings, where we'll reveal our top 5 teams concurrently, obviously. So if you don't know how this works, the 3 of us each ranked every team in the NBA 1 through 30, and we used an Excel spreadsheet formula to kind of average out a list, and that is kind of where it is. So, yeah, are we ready to just dive right in?
Are you so nervous over there? You dropped your phone. He's so nervous.
You okay?
Who is he talking to?
I'm talking to Sezush.
Oh my god,
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is, bro. That's crazy. But are we ready to dive right in?
I thought he was gonna crack his screen because he slammed his phone on the wood.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah, bro, just get some cookies and stop talking.
Yeah,
okay, Susesh.
let's just get it. Let's just get into it. So
All right.
we're doing teams ranked 10 through 6. So starting off with our number 10 team, we are going up to light the motherfucking beam in Sacktown.
Take it easy over there.
We can curse on this show, bro.
Yes, YouTube. You can.
We can curse on this show. We're good. We're not monetized yet. But yeah, we're going to head over to Sacktown. Let's light the beam with the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
So obviously the big elephant in the room, they traded for DeMar DeRozan in a massive deal. And yeah, a lot of high expectations coming for the Kings this season after a step backwards last year. I will throw it over to Toucan Sam over there and tell us about the Sacramento Kings.
Welcome to my cereal bowl. Okay, so Sacktown last year had a significant drop from the previous year. They were 46 and 36. They were the 9th seed in the West, which got them in the play-in. And they made that a play-in, correct?
No,
Am I losing my mind?
they eliminated the Warriors,
Okay.
killing the dynasty, and then they lost to New Orleans.
Yes. Okay.
Let's go to sleep with Steph Curry.
Let's go to sleep. They're gonna have absolutely no idea what's going
No
on
idea.
until
Just
Saturday.
watch the shorts, all right?
By the time this comes out, that short will not be out yet.
Oh, yeah.
No, it won't.
The-
Okay. Going into the roster this year, we have a starting 5, presumably of De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis, with a bench of reigning 6th man of the year, Malik Monk.
He did not win it.
Hey.
Well, because he got injured.
No, he did not. Nas Reed was just better.
He's okay.
Oh no, he did get injured, but yeah, Nas Reed won 6.
Yes, Nas Reed did it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Malik Monk is going to be in the convo again.
Okay.
He's
Yours.
back, along with their first-round draft pick, Devin Carter, who will be out for the beginning of the season. He had surgery. Keon Ellis, and essentially that is the front court depth, the back court.
No,
that's the back court depth.
Yeah.
The front court depth. After Sabonis and Keegan Murray, you're looking at, I guess, Trey Lyles and Alex Len.
They'll both get playing time. You need to
yeah.
play backup bigs.
Those are backup bigs. And then Jalen McDaniels was acquired from Jaden's
Toronto.
brother from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that is all we have on Sacktown. It's a pretty deep roster.
It really is. Problem is, I think this team would thrive a lot better in the East,
Yeah.
just due to the
Any team.
stackedness of the Western Conference. Because, yeah, I mean, DeMar DeRozan's going to be really big, though. As far as just not him showing up, because obviously we know he doesn't play very well in the playoffs. But I think just kind of alleviating a lot of pressure off of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis
Yeah.
just kind of adds more oomph. Just a much better upgrade on Harrison Barnes is essentially what we're
Yes.
looking at here.
Yes.
Because look, Herter's going to provide the spacing. I think that's obviously key. Same with Keegan Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Having a stretch 4 is so huge because Sabonis can shoot, but he doesn't shoot.
Right.
But I'm still not convinced with Sabonis. I really need to see him play well in the playoffs before I can make any like big sort of comparisons regarding that. We're going to add a new part to this series now that we're in the top 10. We're going to look at the ESPN odds for the win projections with the over-unders.
Okay.
They've set the Kings win odds at 46.5, which equates to the 6th best in the NBA
Oh,
and 4th in the West.
wow.
How do we feel about that, Gio?
That's pretty high,
Yeah.
but
So,
I'm not mad at it.
Really?
I'm not mad at it.
What was their win total last year?
46.
Okay. So they're basically just staying around the same.
thing.
So they're thinking that's going to get them 4th instead of 9th like they did last year?
Right. Remember, the West technically got weaker this year. Well, not that the West got weaker. The East got better. So a lot of those wins are going to turn into losses across the board.
I would say they get 49, 50. I would say that.
48, yeah. 48, 49, yeah.
This is an
Yeah.
easy 50-win team. I think like 53.
Oh, wow.
Remember, 50 wins got you 7th in the West last
Yeah.
year. So I think it's going to be the same thing. I think they'll probably finish kind of mid-table in the West playoffs.
I think not playing anymore. They'll be like
No,
5, 6
yeah.
seed.
They should make the playoffs if they're healthy.
Yeah.
Because they have depth, they have star power, they kind of
Yeah.
have everything they need.
Where did we put them?
So you were the lowest on them. You put them in 13th,
Holy.
and we both had them in 8th. We are here,
Yo,
bro.
we're
What?
so locked.
Here.
I had them 13th. All
Yeah.
right. Ooh.
I always knew they were going to be good.
I always knew they were going to be good.
I had him ranked second.
I love like he's going to be
Let's
like,
go to sleep.
let's go to sleep. Bro's going to watch bro put the Kings in like 4th. They missed the playoffs. Yeah, I knew they weren't good enough.
Yeah, right.
That's
I
crazy.
put them 13th. That's fine.
Yeah. Also, most notably, Mike Brown got a contract extension. A coach you two are very low on that I'm very upset
Not very
about.
low.
I
He
don't-
was very low. On
I
Mike
don't
Brown.
think Mike Brown is all that.
I wasn't that low on Mike Brown. What did I have, man?
You had him like midway.
I think you had a midway.
I had him
you
in
gotta
the
go
top 5.
Oh wait, you gotta. Oh, you have it there.
Oh,
Yeah,
where'd
yes.
it go?
He wrote everything down.
All right. I
No,
lost
he
it.
won't find it.
But yeah, no, I'm telling you, Mike Brown is a really, really good head coach. He's better than Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, relax.
So you'll see
Let's
this year.
relax.
You'll see this year.
there
That's
it
he's
fine.
is.
good.
No,
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. I think you had him like in the top 15.
you had him top 15, top 18.
I had him 4th or 3rd, something like that.
12. I had him 12.
Okay,
Okay.
that's respectable.
Yeah.
Not, you had him like 20 something.
I had like early 20s, late
Yeah.
teens.
No, I think the Kings just need to kind of keep doing what they're doing. They need to let Mike Brown make the trades he wants to make as far as like what players he wants. And we'll kind of see from there. I still don't know if Sacktown's necessarily done. I still think they want to move off of Kevin Huerter. And we'll kind of see what they do. I really don't know
Yeah.
who they want to
Yeah.
bring in. Because Kevin Huerter is either like, he kind of reminds me, obviously, Maxi's a way better player, but his production reminds me of Maxi in the sense that he either can take over a game with just
Tyrese?
a barrage of Kevin Huerter.
Tyrese Maxey and Kevin Huerter.
Because they both can take over a game with just a barrage of threes, but when they're not on, they are terrible.
I don't think that about Maxey. I think Maxey's more consistent than you think.
Well, Maxi's consistent. What I'm saying, when he plays bad, he's a total non-factor.
I think Huerter's a lot more inconsistent.
He's a
than
lot
Maxey.
more. He's
Yes.
way more inconsistent. But I'm talking about a good game, bad game comparison.
Okay.
Okay.
It reminds me of Tyrese Maxey.
Gotcha.
All right.
Because when Maxey has a bad game, he'll go like 1 of 9 with 3 points, and he's not doing much else because he's not a good defender either. So that's kind of what I see with it. But yeah, I think it'll be a big step up for Sacramento. What are we seeing ceiling wise?
Oh,
I would say second round.
second round.
I still think this team is low key a first round exit.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
convinced, and especially because the Dogs at the top of the West, man, they're going to run into them in the first round, and I don't
yeah.
think they're going to beat them. So
Okay.
the Kings really need to get at least a 5 seed
Yeah.
if they want to move on to the second round.
Which I think is possible.
Unless like the Lakers or Suns get just stupidly lucky with health, and you play against them in the first round. Those are 2 teams I think are beatable, but
Okay.
I just don't think it'll happen.
All right.
So
That's fine.
any final thoughts regarding Sacramento?
Nah. What's that next team?
All right, moving
Yeah.
on to number 9. Lads, it's time to play the song. It's the Orlando Magic. Really enjoyable team last year. Real good story. Obviously fell short in 7 games in the first round of the Cavs. They go out and get the PCP dude, KCP, in free agency, who stunk up the joint his first preseason game. But yeah, Antoine, tell us about the Orlando Magic.
So Orlando was the 5 seed last year. They finished 47-35. Tie with the Pacers and the Sixers, but they had the tiebreaker over them. So we have a similar team to last year's team. I think the only difference, as Tyler mentioned, is that KCP is now in the starting 5 as a shooting guard. And he will start alongside Jalen Suggs at point guard. We have Franz Wagner, who got a big bag this summer. Paolo Banchero, one of my favorite players in the league. And then Wendell Carter. That's going to run out that starting 5. And then another deep team that's young, a deep bench of presumably Cole Anthony, Goga Badadzde.
Goo goo gaga.
Batadze.
It's Goga Badadzde.
Oh my God.
Anthony Black, their first round draft pick Tristan Da Silva, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac.
Just get rid of Gary Harris already.
I'm not done.
The Magic,
Jonathan Isaac.
the Magic just love taking Nugget shooting guards.
Yeah.
And Jet Howard, who was a lottery pick last year,
Yeah.
who was Juwan Howard's younger son, Nets assistant head
Nets.
coach. And then also Francis Wagner Mo,
What?
the backup center. Mo Wagner.
Francis Wagner.
Francis Wagner's
Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner's
Francis-
back brother Mo is back
Yeah.
as well.
Francis Wagner's
Bro,
Mo.
I'm still
is
trying to.
back.
I'm still trying to process that Franz Wagner contract, bro. That thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I think he's worth that.
You think he's worth like 230 million?
I think he's gonna prove that to us.
Oh God.
I think Paolo deserves that money before he does.
Well, Paulo's not up for extension
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
2 years. I
Paul's
think
gonna
he
get
gets
more
it.
than that for sure.
Paulo might get like 250, 260. So something around there. But Gia, what are your thoughts on the Magic? Kind of cook up a little bit.
The Orlando Magic.
Have the
Their
best
jerseys are mid.
No, they have the best jerseys in the
Let's
league.
be honest, their jerseys are mid.
Okay.
That being said, they're also mid. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh wow.
The Magic are a good team.
Yeah, I was
They're going to
say.
be a good team this year. They got a lot of pieces, right? They got KCP. I don't know how KCP's going to play. I don't know how he's going to fit in with that team.
Provide spacing, point of attack.
Not
defense.
much, honestly. He's not that great of a shooter. We saw it in the first preseason game. What was he, over 5, Tyler?
Yeah.
You said?
But he has good games. And like I said,
We'll
these
see.
games don't count.
I think he's also very inconsistent, especially shooting-wise. So I don't think he provides that much spacing, but he can heat it up from time to time.
Yeah.
Other than that, they got the same players. They just have a year more of experience.
A lot of young
that's
guys.
huge for a young team.
Yeah.
Huge.
And we know Paolo's a riser.
Oh yeah. Paolo's a riser, so that's also huge. I think
Humongous.
Franz, I think he is a riser, even though he doesn't have I think he is a riser. I think he just got unlucky in those games.
He's like Devin Booker, where he'll show up in playoff games, but when you're in an elimination game,
Yeah.
he freezes up.
Well, that's just one time. Come
no,
on.
it happened.
He's too young.
It happened in the bronze medal match, and it
come
happened in
on.
the semifinal match of the Olympics.
Come on. That
This
was
is the third time this year it's happened.
Come on, bro.
It
You
happened.
can't count that. That's not the NBA.
But it happens though. He still shot like shit from the field.
Well, what if this year's different?
It could be. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
I
giving
believe
up
in
on
France. I
Yeah.
believe in France. I think they're going to be a top 4 team in the East.
him. Woohoo! Top 4. Now, well, you said how many wins last year?
47.
Okay, so the ESPN disrespected them. 43.5 wins.
This year?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So they got worse.
15th best in the NBA.
Oof.
No.
8th in the East.
Oh, wow.
Remember, this is ESPN, so this is kind of like normal from them.
No.
Wow.
This is going to be a 49-50 win team.
I'm going to go 48.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 52.
I think they're going to struggle a little bit in the regular season,
Okay.
but I still think they'll be good.
Where do we put them? I
So-
forgot where I put them.
You were the highest on them. You put them in 8th.
Yes.
You were right behind them in 9th. I put them in 11th.
All right, we're all on the same.
So
I think that's
I think the Magic are kind of in that perfect spot, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. They easily have the ceiling to be like in the top 3. They also have this floor to be in like the top 15.
Yeah.
So
I need to see like significant growth like the Thunder have with the young guys, like Suggs. Paolo, we know, and France already are there.
right.
Jalen's got a Wendell. Isaac's got to stay healthy.
Sure.
I guess Cole Anthony Black, who's the
Cole
backup
Anthony-
point
I
guard.
like Anthony Black.
Cole Anthony's probably going to get traded.
Yes.
So I mean,
And I like Anthony Black a lot.
right. If you're comparing it kind of to the Thunder, I mean, you imagine Paolo's going to be that SGA type player. You hope that one of the centers is going to resemble what Chet can do. And you have like Jalen Suggs as your Alex Caruso. You have your point of attack defender. They could easily get to that point. They're just, the Thunder did it years before. So they're not going to get there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a good amount of Jonathan Isaac minutes is really good.
Yeah.
He
Not
has
too
a lot
much.
to
You
prove.
need to keep him healthy. Put him on a minutes restriction to start the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they have they're off Markel Fultz now.
He needs to get to a team, man. I don't know
So,
how he's a free agent.
Yo, Nets could sign him.
We could. I would love to have him.
Yeah.
I think he would make us
What
too
are you
good.
What are you gonna
Yeah.
do with Markel?
Play him.
Play him.
What else
right.
do we do?
I guess.
Just sign a guy to just sit the bench?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, for me, Magic Eastern Conference Finals is the cap.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going big time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still going first round.
Yeah,
No,
first round exits. Okay.
second.
I just think they're gonna get a tough matchup in the first round. I think you're either I don't think they'll face Boston, but they'll probably wind up either facing Indy, Philly, the Knicks. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really don't know.
No, it's second round.
But we'll see. If they eliminated the Knicks, man, oh man, it'd be amazing.
Not happening.
If they could take out either them or Embiid, oh man,
You know, I take that back. Second round exit.
Yeah, second round. I
Second
think
round.
they're close to conference.
Yeah.
Not yet.
they're close. They can get there.
They
but
can,
I don't
right.
think they will.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts on the Magic?
That's all.
No.
All right, we wish them luck. Moving on to team number 8. Some of you might be shocked by this, but it's the New York Knicks.
Ah.
Now, we had kept the Knicks and the Wolves in their respective spots. We're not going to tell you where the Wolves are. But after the trade, we just decided to keep them where they are because we made the list. We stick to our guns. And honestly, we don't think the teams really got better or worse. They're kind of in the same spots.
Right.
So, obviously, the Knicks made big moves last year, trading for OG Anunoby right before the calendar year changed. You go out and get Mikal Bridges for the biggest draft haul in NBA history. And then you get Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, last year, did well in the playoffs, albeit had some very questionable officiating on their side throughout their run. Obviously, we know Game 2 against the Sixers was a big swing game. Game 1 against the Pacers was a big swing game. But they eliminate a hobbled Sixers team in 6, and then you lose to Indiana in 7. So,
Which they should have won.
no.
Thank you.
I think they should have won.
I mean, the Knicks should not. They had no business winning Game 1.
They were
We
playing.
don't have to go there.
They
again.
were playing guys from the street.
Yeah, but when you were all healthy, you guys literally stole Game 1 from the Reps, bro.
I don't want to hear it.
Literally, the Pacers deserved that Game 1 win so much.
I don't want it. We were playing the backups.
Well, so I mean, Philly was playing Embiid on 1.5 knees. Imagine
but
if
it's
he's
Embiid.
healthy.
But it's Embiid. He can do it.
Right, but what
He
I'm
had
saying,
50, bro. He's fine.
Right, but what I'm saying, if you guys got a fair officiating and a healthy Sixers team, I think they beat you.
Embiid dropped 50 points. He's fine.
He did.
He did, but that was his only good game. He had no fourth quarter points in games 4 through 7. But yeah, Antoine. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the Knicks today, so just be brief on the Knicks right now.
I'll be very brief.
Yeah.
So Knicks got to the 50 mark win last year, 15-32, got them the 2 seed. We know what happened. Tyler just went over playoffs. All right. Starting 5, I'm going to go off of what I think it should be because I think it's interchangeable. If I'm Tom Thibodeau, I am, of course, starting Jalen Brunson. I think McBride should be starting shooting guard.
Ooh.
I think Mikal should be the 3. OG should be the 4. And, of course, Cat at the 5. If that moves Josh Hart to the bench, that gives a little more bench depth for the front court because the front court's a little thin right now with no backup center, essentially. Hart can kind of be a little more refreshing off the bench instead of having him start. Deuce could easily slot in at the 2, which leaves a bench of Precious Achua, Josh Hart, Tyler Kolek, Pacoma Daddier, our 2 top draft picks, Campaign, Mitchell Robinson, presumably coming back when he's healthy, TJ Warren, who got signed to an Exhibit 10 deal, and then someone that Tibbs is really high on coming off the bench this year, and that is Landry Shamet. And that rounds out the bench. Jericho Sims as well, backup center.
I keep saying no, this bench ain't that bad, and then he reads off the bench, and I'm like, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I would argue you should start Hart. I think Hart fits better with the starters, and you need a scoring punch off the bench, and Deuce can provide that. I don't think Hart can.
I think it's interchangeable.
Right.
Both ways.
Yeah.
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, we've obviously talked about the Knicks in depth
lot.
for the past
Yeah.
couple weeks. So we'll be kind of quick with this.
Yeah.
Look, we need to see how Mikal can adjust. We need to see how Cat can adjust. Cat's not playing the 4 anymore, at least for now. So we'll see what happens. Now, the win total last year was what?
50.
ESPN predicts the Knicks to have a 45.4 over-under, tied for 10th in the entire league and 5th in the Eastern Conference.
Not bad. I think that's about right.
Yeah, I think around that. I don't think they're going to reach 50 wins this year.
Yeah.
I'll go 48.
I'm going to say 47.
Okay.
How many do you say?
Sticking with 45.
Right. And yeah, obviously, like the Knicks, there's a lot of implications because obviously if they're fully healthy, they could easily get to 55 wins. And if people get injured,
Yes.
then they could easily be 40, right?
Right.
Yeah, listen.
Because like we saw the Nets big 3 in the play-in, so anything's possible.
Listen, OG felt awkwardly on his hand in the first game. They were already saying that.
What the heck?
That
In the preseason?
yeah, he said he was fine,
Yo.
but they were already saying
He's an
that's
injury.
already.
Is it
injured,
starting already for the Knicks?
I don't know, but they
Lord
said
help
they
us.
said he's fine.
Yeah.
Lord
we'll
help
see.
But just already, that's the first game. He's not even playing big minutes there, and his hand's already an issue.
By the way, I am an underground
So,
Knicks fan, so
Until the Nets get Cooper Flag.
exactly.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, where do we rank them?
So you had them the highest, unsurprisingly. You had them in 7th. Now keep in mind when we did this list, this was right after, or this was like a couple weeks before the Cat trade. Me and Gio put them both in 10th.
Okay.
We're so locked in. It's
We're
crazy.
here, bro.
Like
we're
we have
here.
them we have our teams the same
Second
place
time
multiple
today.
Times, yeah.
But
they're okay.
even with Mikal, we still didn't. Even before the before the Cat trade, we didn't see the light with the Knicks.
Yeah.
But you saw a little bit more than I did.
Yeah, I tried to because I am an underground Knicks fan.
Right.
So I was trying to be a little hopeful, but
But now you're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
What if
Yeah, a
it's
little bit.
Nuggets Knicks?
I'm a hater.
Yeah.
Okay, relax.
But
All right.
that's the home team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I guess. But any final thoughts on the Knicks? Might be our shortest Knicks
Yeah.
segment ever.
We've talked so
Yeah.
much.
Hallelujah.
Even
not-
today we talked a lot about that.
Yeah,
so.
we're not going to repeat until the season starts.
All right, let's get into team number 7, the second to last team of today's power rankings. We're heading literally right down I-95 to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wow.
Very interesting season last year. Embiid goes down in January, misses the entirety of the season. The Sixers fall off a cliff and go from the top seed to the play-in. Because, I mean, Embiid was hooping last year. He was like going to be the clear-cut MVP, and then it went from that to play-in. Then, they take down Miami in the play-in, and then arguably just get ungodly shafted by the Knicks and the refs in the first round. But, I mean, albeit all the circumstances, they played very well and only lost in 6. That's why I believe a healthy Sixers team would have won that series. Because after all of that, you still finish. It was literally like game 2 they should have won, so that arguably would have forced a game 7 back in the Garden, and the Knicks haven't won a game 7 at the Garden in years. So
That's yikes.
that's yikes. That's why I always, and keep in mind, I was rooting for the Knicks up until game
That's
2 happened.
cap.
No, I hate Embiid, bro. I root against
do.
Embiid every time. And I have tweets on the record saying I was rooting for the Knicks.
Okay. I believe
So
you.
you believe me.
I believe you.
Yeah. So, but once the refs shafted them, I completely switched up.
You became an Embiid fan.
No.
Yeah.
The
All right.
only time you'll see it happen. But
So the Sixers, they're number 7. We ranked them number 7.
we did.
That's pretty low. No?
No. Well, we'll get to that in a bit. So, Antoine, do you want to talk about Philly?
Yeah. So Philly finished 47-35, which tied with the Pacers and Magic, who were ahead of them in the standings. They were the playing team at 7, the top playing team.
Yes.
It's a whole new roster this year in Philly. We have a starting 5 with 2 new starters, presumably. The 3 that are returning are Maxey, Kelly Oubre, and Embiid. And then you have Paul George slotting in with Caleb Martin. That's rounded out the starting 5. You have a bench that's deep,
Excuse me.
deep, and deep.
Pause.
You have
Go to sleep.
let's go to sleep. You have Andre Drummond in as the backup big to Embiid.
Nets legend Andre Drummond.
Kyle Lowry's back. Reggie Jackson is there. Eric Gordon is there. Jared McCain is there. Gershon Yabusele is there. Ricky Council looked good in the preseason game.
He's not playing.
And then you have a big drop off after those guys. But
Only the top 8 to 9 players will play.
yeah, I would think
And they're all very good players.
Yeah.
They are.
This team has depth.
yeah.
But this team also is not very durable.
Talk to me.
Well, Embiid,
That's one.
Paul George.
Paul George, I would say he's pretty durable.
He does get injured a lot.
He's not Kawhi though.
He's not Kawhi, but he does get injured a lot.
Okay.
I would say he's around the he's a little bit less injury prone than OG.
I don't know. Ever since he had that crazy leg injury, I think he's been pretty healthy.
He missed a couple months a couple years ago. He had some injuries this year.
Yeah.
So he does get injured from time to time.
Yeah.
So
I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine.
He
He'll
should be fine, yeah. And again, a lot of the bench, a lot of older guys.
Yes.
Oh, they got younger guys too. They got McCain. They
Well, the
got
first three names he read: Kyle Lowry, Reggie Jackson, and Eric Gordon.
I don't expect Reggie.
Nick Nurse
I think Reggie will get more minutes in the beginning of the season, but then McCain's going to take over.
Nick Nurse is going to rely heavily on vets when you're coaching in the playoffs. I don't know if McCain's going to get as many minutes. We're going to have to see what happens.
I think he will.
If all three of those guys are still there come playoff time, they're going to get minutes.
They all still will be, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of see what happens. Caleb Martin's also not the most durable either. He does get injured from time to time. Kelly Oubre, same thing. So,
Wait, is Kelly going to start shooting guard?
yes.
Yes.
That's
He's
huge.
shooting guard.
Wow.
Big luxury piece. And they underpaid him, too.
Now think about that. Like,
Lucky
who's the starting point guard?
Maxi.
Maxi.
This is an insanely good defensive lineup. If you think about, I mean, besides Maxi,
Yeah.
but it's Kelly Oubre, and he's your shooting guard. He's like 6'7".
Yeah.
He's lengthy.
He is
Right, then you have-
6'8".
He's 6'8", even better.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Paul George. He's also known for his defense, at least in his younger years.
We'll see what he can do now.
Yeah, Caleb Martin is a solid defender, and then Embiid as well. He's a presence. I think this is not just a good offensive team; this is a good defensive team as well,
Low key,
with size.
I think Embiid might be like, I think he's the only defender not worse than Maxi. I low key think Caleb Martin's probably your best defender in that lineup,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
and then Kelly, then Paul George.
And then Embiid, and then Maxi. Because I love Maxi, but he's a cone, man.
Yeah, he's not the best. on
He
defense,
is
that's
a
for sure.
traffic cone. That thing is bright orange.
Yeah.
But
Crazy thing is, he's super quick, but he just doesn't like to move on defense. But
even though he's really small. So it's
he's
like
pesky though.
yeah, he's pesky.
Yeah.
He's good. He's decent with like deflecting passes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But what was the win total last year? It was
I said 47.
47. They predict him at 45.2 this year, which is 12th,
Really?
12th in the NBA and 6th in the Eastern Conference, so right behind the Knicks.
I think they're the 2 seed. I think they're 50.
I see it,
One.
though.
They get 55.
I see it though. There's no way in hell this team goes through the season fully healthy. There's no chance in hell. Embiid's not playing more than 60 games
Well,
this year.
we're believers.
I'm
You're
believing they're
believers,
going to
yeah.
be healthy. They're going to have 50.
They're gonna have 50,
wins, 52 to
51.
55.
I'm gonna say
Mark my words.
I'm gonna say they're not durable, and I'll say 48 wins.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I say.
It's close to 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gio was stupidly high on Philly. Put them in 5th.
That's not stupid high.
Wow. No, that's not
That's only
stupid
2 ranks higher.
I put them in 7th.
Okay.
He put them in 9th.
Oh, wow. That's low.
You were very low on Philly.
Wow.
I always knew they were gonna be really
I
good.
always knew they were going to win the
I
finals.
always knew I was a believer.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be the greatest agenda starter from this show. As we grow, more people are going to catch on and start
Yeah.
milking it, bro. It's going to be great.
I was ninth. All right. I
Yeah.
probably had him as the 4th seed in the East. Yeah, probably.
Because the West is still better. I think we can all agree on that. So when
Yeah.
we're kind of going from 1st to 30th,
I still think they're conference finals and then finals if they're really lucky.
I still can't take this team seriously until they get out of the second round, and that's exactly where I'm placing them.
What do you think?
For what?
Ceiling
Where
for
they
Philly.
go?
Oh,
Where they
ceiling for
finish?
50 is Eastern Conference Finals.
Would it shock you if they got eliminated in the second round again?
No, because I think the
it just depends who they play. Who do they play? Tell me.
Well,
they
if you're
play
in the second
the
round, let's say you're playing
Pacers?
outside of Boston, I think it's a guaranteed loss at that point. Let's say they're playing either Indy.
I think go 7 against Boston. If everyone's healthy.
That's not happening. We know it's not happening. I think their only shot is if they get the Knicks in the second round,
Okay.
or if
I still say
or
Eastern
if like,
Conference Finals.
or if like Orlando gets through.
Nah, I think they beat Orlando.
Orlando.
They beat Orlando.
Yeah, I'm saying I think if Orlando gets
Yeah.
through, I think that's their only shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Orlando, the Knicks, maybe Miami if they're banged up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Miami, I just still can never count them out.
I'm counting them
I
out
can
this
never
year.
count Miami out. Bro. I just
Jimmy's
can't.
too old now.
No, remember,
Yeah,
Jimmy's
yeah.
not playing around this year.
Just because he didn't take his little funny
Yeah, bro.
media day
Telling
photo
you.
doesn't mean he's taking in this season
We'll see.
serious. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's made the finals twice. Once trolling, once without trolling.
Once trolling.
So we'll see. But Any final thoughts regarding the Philadelphia 76ers?
No, let's move on. Let me actually guess who's next. Can I do that?
You can. I mean, we put it in the group chat
he sent-
yesterday.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Okay.
I think I know who's next.
Is it the Pacers?
It is the Indiana
I'm
Pacers.
so good at this.
The Indiana
This
Pacers come
team-
in number 6. Obviously, what a season last year based on the circumstances they began the season in.
Based on expectations,
I mean,
Yeah.
bro, I will say this. If the Pacers wind up winning a championship, overpaying Bruce Brown will be the greatest decision ever made because you got rid of no one trading for Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
Because he was the entire salary filler of that team,
That's a
along
big
with the
if,
first
though.
round picks. It's a big if.
if they win the championship,
If they win the
they
championship.
got to go through a lot of teams.
Remember, it doesn't have to be this year, though. They're young.
right?
And they're locked in. They arguably have the best depth in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, took down Milwaukee in the first round last year after getting the 6th seed. Took down the Knicks in 7 games. And then just really heartbreaking. Had the lead in every single game against Boston into the final 2 minutes. Rick Carlisle got too stubborn with his rotations. Boston won all 4 games and swept them. So now they're back. They're refreshed. The full season of Pascal Siakam in Indiana. Antoine, tell us about Indiana. Tell us about your father,
I hate this team.
Your father.
I hate this team.
the Knicks daddy.
Wait. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what our top 5 is. I have 14.
Well, don't say it,
I'm forgetting
obviously.
one team.
Well, don't say it. Just
I don't know who it is.
Just talk about the Pacers.
So again, they were 47 and 35. That was a trend with the 3 teams we talked about: Magic, Pacers, 76ers. They got 6th seed, as Tyler mentioned. Again, same team as last year that I hate with the burning passion because they're all disgusting human beings. No, I'm joking.
Hey, yo.
They are not.
That's
disgusting.
crazy.
They are great players, but I hate them all.
Okay.
So, again, starting 5, presumably same as last year. Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nemhard, Aaron Nesmith, Spicy P, and Miles Turner. The bench is getting a good piece back with Benedict Mathurin. TJ McConnell, of course, is back. Obi Toppin is back. Ben Shepherd is back. Isaiah Jackson presumably takes over the backup big role because
It will not.
of Jalen
no?
Jalen Smith leaving.
James Wiseman's going to be the backup center.
Oh.
Wiseman,
Yeah.
I guess. I'm not
He
high
looked-
on him,
He looked.
but
They did their blue-white scrimmage the other day. He looked actually really good.
okay. So we're gonna put Wiseman over Isaiah.
I like Isaiah Jackson.
He's a good player. I like
and
him.
then
He should go to the Knicks.
No, don't subject him to that psychotic nonsense.
who?
Isaiah Jackson.
That'd be a good fit for
And then I'm hoping the young draft picks of Jarris Walker and Johnny Furphy as well get some good minutes.
Jarris Walker's going to play. Furphy probably won't because he was a second-round guy.
Good
So,
3-point shooter.
Yeah, but he'll play in a couple of years. Ah, man, that bench is insane.
Yeah.
That bench
Stacked.
is ridiculous.
That's like a starting 5.
In all honesty, that bench is better than like half the NBA starting lineups.
So you think the bench starting lineup would be TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin,
Yeah.
Ben Shepherd, Obi
Obi
Toppin, Wiseman.
I would take
Solid
that.
starting
I would
five.
take that at least over the bottom 10 teams we had in our power
I
rank.
think I agree with that.
I would easily without a
Okay.
doubt.
I think I would second that.
And they can give the next 10
Actually-
a run for their money.
Bottom 7.
I think bottom 10.
That means the Rockets as well.
Okay, yeah, maybe you got a point.
Yeah. It means
Yeah.
Rockets, Clippers, Hawks, Jazz.
I thought the Rockets were higher. The Rockets we had in like 16th or something like that.
Oh, you're right.
17th.
You're right. You're
I'm
right.
talking about from 21 down to 30.
That means Warriors, Clippers, Hawks, Jazz,
Oh.
Spurs
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would take that Pacers bench over it.
over Curry. Let's go to sleep.
Curry has like no help, bro.
That's a thing now.
Curry's good. Let's go to sleep, bro. Talk about the Pacers, Gio. I don't know how you feel about the Pacers, to be honest with you.
You know what's crazy? I had them pretty high. Let me see where I had them.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit.
They make me pace around my
But
living.
me personally,
Yes.
I did have them at 7.
Okay.
But now I don't know how I feel about that. My gut's telling me they're going to flop big time. this
Wow, you're just in your Embiid agenda right now. This is a shame on you as a Nuggets fan now for doing that.
Nah, listen.
And he's
listen,
wearing
listen.
yellow.
Yeah,
I'm a Nuggets fan.
yeah. Remember,
But
you have to side with Jokic. No Embiid
no.
agendas
This
allowed.
this is not my Embiid agenda. This is my genuine gut
Yeah.
feeling for
Okay.
the Pacers coming up. I also have Pacers colors on too. I
You
just
do.
noticed.
It's your blue and yellow brothers.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think I don't know. I feel like they had a crazy, unexpectedly good season, and everyone thinks so highly of them.
They don't.
Well, I think a lot of people do, though. Who's they?
Everyone I'm seeing in the media doing their standings
don't
predictions,
think
they
so
have the
highly?
Pacers in the play-in.
Really? Well,
They
I
have the
think-
Pacers ranged anywhere from like 4 to 8.
I think it's in a high on them doing what they did last year.
Right.
I think I agree with them. I think they're
Okay.
going to be a bottom-tier playing team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the win total they set.
No.
The win total they set was 40.
That's my gut feeling.
The win total they set was 46.7, ninth in the NBA, fourth in the Eastern Conference.
I think.
We both had them in fifth in our power rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I haven't.
I'm stupidly high on this team, so I'm kind of biased in that sense. I really think they're going to be good. Not necessarily sure if they'll get a high seed in the regular season, though. But I think come playoffs, if Halliburton doesn't get a freak injury like he did
Right.
last year, the ceiling for this team is insane.
What are we talking?
I think this is the only team in the East that can beat the Celtics.
Whoa. They got swept, though.
Right? Remember,
But it was a close sweep.
they had the lead in
Still.
every game with inside the last 2 minutes. All Rick Carlisle had to do was just play McConnell at the end of the game in game 1, play whoever was hot at the end of games 2, 3, and 4. It's all he had to do. The Pacers had a legit chance at getting to the finals last year.
Hey, man, they got offense.
They have
They got offense for days.
Offensive for days.
They do. They have that.
And for a team that was league worst or like league bottom 3 in defense last year, they're one of the best defenses in the playoffs
Yeah, they
last year.
stepped it up.
They locked in completely.
Yeah.
So, and I think Siakam's fallen very under the radar.
Yeah.
So how many wins do you think this year? How many
42.
last year did they have?
Did you say 42?
Yeah.
That's playing, yeah.
I'll say 47.
I'm going to go, it's like, I'm kind of torn because they could easily get like 50. They could also get like 54.
No.
I'm going to go 52. I think they're a 50-win team.
Okay.
First full year. Remember, this is their first full year with Siakam. Halliburton missed a bunch of time last year. So I think they'll be a lot better, a lot more locked in.
I think they challenge Boston if they get another good player at the deadline.
I don't think they need that.
I think
Because if you trade for anyone, there goes your depth.
you could wiggle some.
You would need to
other
trade for
guys in
someone
there.
cheap.
Can you say Boston one more time?
Boston.
One more time.
Boston.
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 Is that like a Jersey accent or is that a Boston? accent?
Boston.
I don't know.
I don't even know. All right, that's off topic. But
That's crazy. But ceiling for the Pacers.
Conference finals.
second round exit.
Oh,
Here we go. I like that.
Crazy.
I love that take.
Crazy. I'm going to go completely opposite of you. My ceiling for them is the NBA
Oh
Finals.
my gosh, bro.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I believe. I believe in Indiana.
When they are last place 10 games into the season.
oh, I knew they were going to be
I
last.
knew they were going to be last.
No, like I said, there's teams I have stock in this year. The Pacers are one of them.
Okay.
I really liked what I saw last year in the playoffs. I think it's just the beginning.
Are you gonna make
you got to replicate it.
Are you gonna make bets on this team here?
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts on Indiana before we get into the final team?
I hate this team. No, that's the last
Oh,
team.
wait, that is the
that's
final
the last
team.
team.
Sorry, I'm kind
That's
of
the
stupid.
last team.
So, yeah, lads, that's the penultimate part 5 of our 2025 preseason power rankings, which means all we have left is the top 5. Which
Okay.
means, well, don't guess because the people
No,
don't know.
I'm not going to guess. But I was going through, so the 5 teams, of course, you guys are going to do a process of elimination. So we have Nuggets, Tims.
He literally just said the top, like, bro.
No, not in order.
Yeah, but I don't. But they should. The people that didn't watch the previous one. What I'm saying.
Okay, forgot I
Yeah.
said anything.
He loves leaking stuff.
I'll give you 2 teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, put your
But-
face right here.
yeah.
Let's go to sleep.
Basically, if you didn't hear what Antoine said, it's basically just Boston and 4 other teams because everyone and their
Yes.
dog knows Boston's going to be in this last part.
Yes.
So we got the top 5 teams next week. You guys can process of elimination anything you want at home. And yeah, that'll be our finale next week of the mini series before we get into our full 2025 season predictions, which will drop in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks'
Beautiful.
time. So, any final thoughts, lads, before we get into shower thoughts?
Let's jump in the shower.
All right, let's do it. All right, into the final segment, everyone's favorite. It's time for shower thoughts, the segment that racks our brain and turns Antoine super sus for no reason at all. Okay, what do you say, sir? We have manners on this show.
Let's go to sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Welcome to my bathtub.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, this is the shower.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Although there are showers in bathtubs, I guess. Yeah.
thoughts.
But yeah, essentially, if you guys want to go check out last week's episode, link in the description. Gio brought up the point of Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo Ball being really good in high school. Could that equate to the NBA? Find out our answers in the link below. Sounded really cringe.
BBB, baby, let's go.
Yeah, big baller brand, head ass. But now we move into this week. It's my turn for shower thoughts. Now, originally, what we're going to talk about today was going to be a segment, but I literally sat there on the couch last night for hours. And I just couldn't think of anything. So I was like, you know what? I looked at the segment and I was like, let's just turn this into the shower thoughts segment for today. And I think it actually works. So I'll give you some context to kind of start things off.
Yes.
So Adam Silver interviewed the other day, just as normal NBA typical preseason press conference, mentioned that Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic have formally requested to have games played in their home countries. So the full quote was, "I'd like to mention that Nikola and Luka have both formally requested to have games in Serbia and Slovenia." So the first part of my question is, this is a two-parter. Do we think each international star in the NBA should get this opportunity? And what qualifies, like what are the qualifications of an international player to get that opportunity, if that makes any sense?
I think I have the perfect answer for this.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I think it is definitely in their best interest for them to have this happen, because
For the NBA as a whole, you're saying?
no, for it's other reasons. I think because it's also good for the NBA internationally, and also you got to remember the back home, these guys are like messy to the people of Slovenia and
Yeah.
Serbia, and the fact that they can't see them play in the U.S. because Slovenia and Serbians might not have the capabilities to travel to the U.S. to watch them play right now.
And the games are at like 4 a.m.
Correct.
Right,
And
right.
time change is very difficult. Some fans stay up, like we stay up to watch soccer, or get up early to watch soccer games, vice versa.
Right. It's really
and-
not that big of a time difference for us, though.
No.
But like during the NBA Finals, like Game 5 in
Yes.
Denver, I believe, is like 8 or 9 hours behind
Yeah.
Serbia. So it was like 5 in the morning. These guys were watching the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like these Slovenians and Serbians, they're staying up later, not watching them all highlights. And like I said, these are like gods to them in their country. You know, they're, Slovenians and Serbians are smaller countries that have not a lot of population-based people, but a good amount. And, they want to see people that made it in their home country, play where they grew up. It's kind of the same thing as the World Cup. When it comes to soccer, you want to see your home guys play in a home country.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
kind of the same thing. I mean, they probably see them play in the Olympics, but that's every 4 years. And
Right.
plus, the Olympics aren't in Slovenia and Serbia unless
It's also,
they are.
it's also not the
given
NBA
year.
either.
Correct.
The NBA is a whole different
Correct.
beast compared to FIBA.
I think it's good for the fans. It gives people that
Fans of who?
Serbia and Slovenia.
Those fans. Okay.
Yeah, because they want to see their guys play. I think a good example, Shohei Ohtani played in his home country before he came over here. They had a chance to see him before he came here.
Yeah.
But of course, baseball is a lot different compared to basketball. Jokic was drafted. Luka played in Spain before he came over.
Right.
So I think this is a great idea regardless, because I think everybody wins. I think the only thing is you just got to figure out who plays who when it goes to, I guess, going to Slovenia and Serbia. If you make it a multi-game series over the season, if you make it just a one-off every year with both of them going at a play.
Wait, so let me ask you, because you explained how the fans of Serbia and Slovenia win, but
Yeah.
how does the NBA win in this circumstance?
Well, they're both ambassadors to the game, and you're kind of expanding it more into Europe.
Okay.
I guess you're getting more fans, of course. It's also a money thing too. They're gonna sell out tickets pretty fast, and then also I think the thing with this now is you kind of have to open up it to Giannis for Greece. You have to open it up to
Right, that's what I was asking. Like, do you think each NBA star that's international, whether it's Europe, Australia, Canada, Mexico, whatever.
Yeah, so then you're including Wemby, you're including Giannis.
So the Nets and Cavs played in Paris last year. Presumably the Spurs will be playing a game in Paris this year. We don't know which game yet, but that's been the rumor kind of flying across the grapevine. But kind of going back to what you said, I think it's just globalization as far as it goes. I mean, we took a bunch of courses on it in college.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the NBA is striving to do, trying to grow the brand to a global,
market.
Yeah, global market. But Antoine, what qualifies an international star to get that privilege? And then we'll get to Gio's thoughts and his qualifications.
Well, I think the only guys that qualify to the top of my head right now, of course, is Jokic and Luka. And I think right behind them is Giannis and Wemby.
Okay.
I think you have to be you have to have a stature big enough for us, the NBA, to bring a game to your home country to sell out. I would assume all four of those guys would respectively sell out their games in their home country.
Yeah.
I think those are the top four guys. And Giannis won a ring. I think that easily gives him some stature. Jokic, same thing. Luka is just a different breed of player. And then Wemby is Wemby. I don't have to say much about that.
Highly sought after prospect.
So, two of those guys have rings. One of them is a freak of nature. One of them is Luka is close to getting his ring, but another stature player that is just a different type of player we've never seen before, like does everything,
Yeah.
But it can't be just given out to some random person. There's got to be some stature there.
So logistically speaking, what needs to be put in place
The stature?
to figure out who deserves the right to have a game played in their own country? Does it need to be a certain amount of followers on a social media platform to qualify you? Does it have to be something else? Like, what can it be?
I definitely think multi All-Star appearances.
Okay.
I think,
That would disqualify Wemby.
Oh, yeah.
well, I was going to say NBA award winning as well. Wemby would
Gotcha.
be in that category.
Well, he hasn't won anything yet. Oh, he did win Rookie of the Year.
Year,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
NBA award winning All-Stars.
Uh-huh.
Championships, two of them have it, two of them don't.
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
I think you could kind of
There are role players from Europe
Take
that
that back.
don't do very well.
Now, what do you think about SGA? Because he's Canadian, right? Mm-hmm. So do you think we need to have a game played in, like, where's he from? Like Quebec or something?
well,
I'm gonna look it up.
He goes to Canada to play Toronto.
Right. So that's what I was going to say. Like, do we
But
need to do that?
what about players from Edmonton, players from Vancouver, players from
Yeah.
Montreal? That's the question.
I don't think SGA has that type of stature.
I think he does.
I think he does, man. This is the most aura we've ever seen out of an NBA player. Like,
I mean, it's fine. I understand. Like he does have it, but he grew up playing in college here with Kentucky.
still, he's international.
I know.
It's
I
not-
get that.
So he's from Toronto. So that kind of is a pointless example. So he already plays in his home city.
Now, Tyler, you mean like, so one game out of the year they go to their home country and they play there for one game? That's what you're
Yes.
talking about?
So
Like a regular season game?
yeah, remember when the Nets and Cavs played in Paris back in January,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Like how the NFL has their international.
Yeah, so
one
let's
every
just
couple weeks.
But instead of the big mecca places like London or Munich, let's just say it's in let's say the Nuggets and Lakers play in Belgrade.
the capital cities of their country.
Or not
Yeah.
even the capitals, just like the biggest cities, because
Yeah.
the capital's not always the biggest.
Yeah.
So let's just say Giannis, or let's say the Bucks play the Spurs in Athens, for example, stuff like that.
That would be super cool.
Do you think what do you think it should be passed on to multiple stars, and what's the requirements for you?
First of all, yes. I think I don't think the players should have the right to dictate this. I just think the NBA should just do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it
Okay.
should be something where the NBA players are like, we want to play here and this and that. I think the NBA should just take it upon themselves to make that happen because it would be good for them.
Right.
If they want to be smart as a business, as an organization, I think that's a decision that they have to make themselves.
Yeah. And you had the faces of the league headlining the games
Right.
in their home state, in
Yeah.
their home countries.
Yeah.
Now, Fetty sent me a video of, because he's from Egypt, as you guys know.
Yep.
So he sent me a video of basketball fans in Egypt, right? Basketball is like
Yeah.
their third or fourth most watched sport. And I'm telling you right now, the fans are insane
Yeah.
for basketball.
You saw the clip of the fans in Serbia?
Yeah.
It's
insane.
ridiculous.
So I feel like,
Whole different like untapped potential is being reached here with
right.
overseas.
Yeah, it's insane. So like the culture of the fan bases in other countries is just amazing. And I think US could actually benefit from watching a game on TV, a NBA game that's played in like, I don't know, Serbia, Slovenia, Greece, whatever.
Yeah.
They would actually benefit from watching that because they would see the amount of passion that these fans have for their teams and their players,
Right.
and then it could actually help with the dead arenas of the NBA. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of dead arenas. Washington, for example, that arena's dead. There's no passion there.
'Cause they
That's the capital of the United States, and
they
there's no
suck.
Oh,
passion.
they stink. It's like
I understand, but like, come on.
they honk.
Come on, it doesn't matter. There's teams in Egypt where they're bottom tier teams, but
Yeah.
their fans are passionate no matter
Yeah.
what.
That's fair.
So it's
I
like
agree.
I want that for America. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree wholeheartedly.
I think this could help.
What's the requirements for the players to get that
Qualifications.
opportunity? Yeah.
I brought up the whole social media thing. I think that matters.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
you think you should have a certain following on social media where you're relevant enough
Right.
to be able to
Okay.
go to another country and play. Like if you have some random guy, like I don't know, who's like a European player that nobody really knows about.
Let me think of a good example. Just keep cooking well. Oh, like Vlatko Chanchar.
That guy,
Yeah.
whoever he is,
He's on the
if you have-
Nuggets.
If you have that guy,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yo, let me play for this team where I'm from, or not this team. Let me play in this country where I'm from." And it's like, no, bro. Like,
Like, nah, you're
sorry,
good, bro.
you're not Jokic,
You're
you're not
good, bro.
Giannis, but yeah, I think you do have to have some amount of relevance.
Okay.
So
I think being like a top 2 option is also pretty big
on your
on
team,
your team.
yeah, I agree.
But and there's also a common misconception regarding players because like a lot of Americans think Sabonis is crap. In Lithuania, he's a god.
Right.
Yes.
So, he someone like him would deserve a game
Same
with
thing with
Lithuania.
I think
Porzingis.
Sabonis is
Sabonis,
fire.
I mean Sabonis.
Porzingis too.
Porzingis Pingus in Latvia.
Porzingis, yeah.
Yeah.
And even outside of Europe,
Yep.
like there's probably like games in Canada, like in
Yeah.
Vancouver or
Asia.
Africa, like Japan. There's probably a whole untapped potential there. So, and even now, obviously in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So, that was kind of the first part of the question, as far as that goes. Now, my follow-up question: what could the NBA do to accommodate the American stars? So the American players that are from a city that doesn't have an NBA team. So an NBA player from Montana or
Oh, come on.
Kansas City or
Why are you even in Montana, buddy?
I don't.
Who's from Montana? Now I'm curious.
there probably is. But Anton, what do you think while Gio looks that up?
Montana.
Because I have an answer, but I want to see if you guys get to it first. And that's what I'm more curious about.
Phil Jackson is from Montana.
Okay, so the greatest coach, one of the greatest
That's it.
coaches ever.
That's it, bro.
The thing, I think the closest thing for them is their high school and where they grew up playing, because college guys traveled all around for college, and that's not their hometown.
Right.
Their hometown, I think of as high school. So something relevant
No,
around the high school where they grew up.
I disagree.
That's literally the best thing I could think of.
I disagree because that's too much. Like, you're already playing in the U.S. Just find the closest city, fly out the family members and the friends, have them come watch the game in the closest city where they're playing.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
let's say they are from Montana. Where the closest place? What is it? Portland. You got
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Portland's
What
probably-
else?
Portland's the closest.
Portland's the closest. Just fly them out to a game that they're gonna be playing in Portland. That's how you can accommodate the family and the friends.
Exactly. My answer is a little bit more layered than that. And the NBA is actually doing it this year.
Oh, wow.
So you know how sometimes the Spurs don't always play in their arena? They'll play in either Mexico City. They played at the Alamo. They play in Austin. And this year they're playing the Suns in Austin, where Kevin Durant went to college.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of my way to remedy it. You know, if a real standout player like, who's like a really good player that went to college? Let's just say, I don't know.
Anthony Davis. Kentucky.
Anthony Davis. Let's say the Lakers played a game in Kentucky
Okay.
at Rupp Arena.
Okay.
Like, that would be sick.
That would be
It
sick.
would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Against like
Just anyone. Let's say Kings versus Lakers, because Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, both
That
went
would
to
be
Kentucky.
super fire.
That would be incredible. You know,
Maxi included.
have a game in Kansas. Have
That's
a game
smart.
at Gonzaga. Have a
That's
game
very
in,
smart.
Yeah.
Bring back the guys that,
I
that
think
started a program.
it kind of taps into the roots of how because the journey's so important. A lot of famous people, whether you're an athlete or a celebrity, an actor, whatever, a lot of people forget where they come from. And I think that's always just a good reminder to kind of stay humble, be true to who you are.
Yeah.
And it gives even the fans in Kentucky, because, you know, if you're in Kentucky, your choices are either to not go to an NBA game or go watch the Wizards or like something like that. So it's like, it's always tough. But I think that's one way to kind of do it.
Yeah, I
Have
like
a game.
that.
Because
Play to
listen, college arenas fit NBA crowds.
They do. They fit more people, actually.
Yeah.
Do they?
Well, yeah, because all the college, there's like thousands and thousands
Yeah.
of kids.
I thought that was college football stadiums.
I think basketball,
Oh.
too. We were inside Rupp Arena. That
Rupp
place was
Arena
fucking
fits
massive.
a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and also it benefits both teams. So let's say,
Yeah.
you know, obviously a game in Serbia would really only benefit Jokic.
Yeah.
But if you played a game at, let's say, Kansas, then it could benefit so many Kansas players, because
Yeah.
someone like Joel Embiid or whoever, right? Like I said, the Monk and Fox, Anthony Davis, right? There's a Kentucky tie there.
Right.
So, or even if they played the Nuggets, Jamal Murray went there.
Yes.
So stuff like that.
I like that.
So that's my sort of remedy for it.
I have no negative things about that. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Plus, I think
That's what they're doing this season?
no,
No,
they're
just
just,
Oh,
the
okay, I think
KD
that's-
playing in Austin.
it's just
That
it's
would be
just-
super dope.
It's just coincidence, but I think the only other thing is that maybe have the in-season tournament semifinals and finals outside of the U.S. That could be another cool option,
That would be
Okay.
especially
cool.
because Vegas is about to get an NBA team. Maybe have it in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be nice.
That would be really dope. I just think I'm bored with the NBA at times. It gets a little too monotonous. So stuff
Yeah.
like this will kind of change up things.
Yeah, switch it up a little bit.
So
Alright.
Yeah. I like this question.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I like that.
nice.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that-
different.
that was this edition of Shower Thoughts. Next week it will be Antoine's turn to come up with a really good question.
Sick.
It'll be our second to last Shower Thoughts before the start of the new season.
Nice.
So yeah, lads, any final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns regarding this episode?
I have shower thoughts.
Go in the shower.
Huh?
That's it.
Yeah. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of episode number 26 of the Floor Spacer podcast. I said codcast.
Yeah, that's funny.
Guys, how we feeling?
We're good.
Good.
I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, I'm
What's
starving.
crazy is I woke up more and more throughout the episode.
Yeah.
I think
A
as
little
soon
bit.
as he said something that woke you up.
What did he say again?
What was it? It was something so stupid.
I call him Jesus.
No, you said
He said that he said wait,
Wendell Carter Jr.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like Cap.
Yeah, guys, go back to
I was literally like this.
go back to
Cap.
go back to the intro. Gio was knocked. He literally crashed.
I was not knocked. I was drifting.
I looked at you. You were like,
Yeah, you were a little sleepy.
I will send, like, when I'm editing this tomorrow, I will send you a
Please
picture.
do,
It will,
because
yeah.
I don't believe it. I was
Yeah.
definitely drifting, but maybe I will
I
stand
also,
corrected.
it's that time in the video. For those that are still with the flow, what do they comment at home?
Comment awake, because we up.
Awake.
Sue says.
We
says.
out here.
Can
No,
you-
do
can
not
you
comment
stop, bro?
that.
Says.
Can you stop?
No,
not
let's
comment.
go to sleep.
Let's go. That's not one word, you donut.
No,
Comment.
just, no, let's go to sleep with no spaces. Then it's
Oh.
one word.
Hashtag
Whichever
that.
one you pick. You can
No, it's-
comment, let's go to sleep
yeah.
with no spaces, or awake.
You know what else I got to do when I get
Awake.
home? I got to send you a picture of that rug with the Memphis design on it. I keep forgetting to do that.
Memphis
Remember the MEM with the lines?
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Send that.
FaceTime you
It
when I
looks
get
like
home.
Braille.
Send that.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys did enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're pushing towards 3.5K and 4 and so on and so forth. The goal is to get to 5K by the end of 2024. It's possible, but we need your help to do it.
And the forfeit is we're going to sleep.
I don't know if that's necessarily a forfeit, but you know. Obviously, once we hit big milestones, we'll have different announcements and everything regarding that, different things that we're going to bring to y'all. Obviously, we got a ton of content planned for the start of the NBA season. If you guys hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified every single time we upload, which is every day. Check out our shorts, check out our playlists. If you're on audio platforms, 5-star rating, follow us, answer the polls, all that stuff. Follow us on our socials. You best believe I did not forget to get Gio to 1 million followers on Twitter. Our personal links are right here on the bottom of the screen. Everything else is in the description below. And yeah, lads, I think that might be it. Tune in next week for when we do our final preseason power rankings, our top 5 teams. We'll look at the GM reports of all the polls that they were asked to answer. And yeah, we'll get into our predictions in a few weeks, and that'll be the time the NBA season commences. So lads, any final thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, anything for the viewers?
Let's go to sleep.
I'm dying. That should be your outro from now on.
Sue says she's going to go to sleep.
Okay.
All right, never mind.
Anything from you, Gio? We can't end on that. Say something.
Come on, Jesus.
Okay.
Nah, there's nothing.
You have to say something. We can't end on that.
All right. Well,
you look like a mustard bottle.
At least I'm not going. Okay, really? At least I'm not going to sleep with Steph Curry's.
That is true. He's going to sleep with Russell Westbrook.
I don't have Steph Curry's. I don't have shoes from Steph. I don't have Under Armour.
Can you show the camera your toes right now?
No.
No, please don't. I don't want to scar anyone. I don't want to lose subscribers.
He said, no, please don't.
Gio has holes in his socks the size of Alaska.
I definitely don't.
I totally forgot about that era.
Definitely
He's
don't.
showing them the feet now.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
covered.
but I have
Dogs are
socks on.
covered.
The dogs are. Whoa. Whoa.
What is happening?
Antoine
They're barking.
clearly needs
What is
to
happening?
sleep. But yeah.
Yo, bro's off the.
Yo, his dogs are Chihuahuas.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
He's a little Russ.
A little Chihuahua.
Mine are like
right, guys.
Rottweilers.
Good
Yeah,
night.
let's get through the end of this.
Good night,
We hope
y'all.
you enjoy the rest of the preseason. MLB fans, hope you enjoy the playoffs. NHL season just started.
Yes.
And yeah, we hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly, and we'll see you all next week in episode 27. Peace out.